919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Did you know that Bailey's Fine Jewelry has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for luxury designers, fine diamonds, and watches, but we also have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. We're celebrating making holiday gifting easy since 1948. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We'll only see a little bit of clearing with a lot of stubborn cloud cover through this afternoon. Highs will only reach the 40s. Then partly cloudy overnight with temperatures dropping to around 30 to start the day Saturday. Partly cloudy Saturday. Highs will reach the mid to upper 50s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 204 points to 48,499.
Intercepted by Chatfield, and the Canes are going to come back the other way. Hustling in, trying to get it across for Blake. Second opportunity, score! Logan Stankoven. Milano, wide to the right, drifting back in. Milano waiting, back in. Bussi ends it with the save. Dear Bussi becomes the first goalie in NHL history with 10 wins in his first 11 games played.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Max Gorin producing the show today. And it is, as you just heard, for so many reasons, a celebration of CanesMas today. We have our CanesMas gift giving, which will go on about 4:45. The 10 days of CanesMas somehow does not, or at least it was not intended to mean the 10 wins of Brandon Bussi, but maybe we'll use it for that. We have 10 days of CanesMas giveaways this week and next week, so day number 5 today. That's at 4:45. We have a full show for you, and obviously that includes the Canes beating the Caps, so let's jump right into the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
It took a shootout, but the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Washington Capitals last night. Brandon Bussi, as you've heard so many times, the first goalie in NHL history to get 10 wins in his first 11 appearances. He earned it last night. I mean, anytime you go into a shootout, a lot of that's going to fall on the goalie. A lot of getting them there was the goalie. And I mean, you're going to hear me ask this question a lot because I don't have the answer. So sometimes I just ask and hope that the universe tells me, or maybe one of you can clear it for me. 11 games is a big enough sample size to get excited, right? 11, that's not nothing, right? It's not like a 3-game heater to start your career. 11 means people have watched film and they've tried to figure you out, and they're having a hard time doing it, right?
Look, if every goalie could win 10 out of 11, he wouldn't be the only one that's done that.
Exactly. Now, he has a good team, and there's context, but 11's big enough of a sample size to get excited. It's big enough to wonder if you should be making plans for the future. Rod Brindamore is the one that has to make those plans and make those tough decisions. He also talked about Bussi and the historic start that the young goaltender's on.
Great. Love making history in that form, but just when you get to know him, the story, and then such a great kid, and he's really earned every minute of this. So obviously we hope it continues, but it's been a great ride here so far.
It really is like a conundrum, a quandary. You're stuck between two places. One is he probably wants to look around and enjoy this, right? He probably wants to say, holy cow, how did I get here? But at the same time, right, he didn't work all of those years in the minors. He didn't grind through all of those bus trips. He didn't fight as long as he fought to make it to the NHL for an 11-game stretch, right? He wants to turn this thing into a career. So you want to keep your head down. You want to keep grinding. You don't want to get caught up in anything. You want to keep working. But what has happened is celebration worthy. So it's really I hope he is enjoying it. Because even if he goes on to have a long career, he might. I mean, that the first time in NHL history, some of the bests of all time don't break too many NHL records, right? So you want him to enjoy it, but also, you don't want him to get caught up in it, because the way he's playing, there's a good chance he's one of the main characters in a chase for the cup. You know what I mean? There's a good chance that when it comes to a playoff contending roster, with years of built up anxiety over breaking through a ceiling that they haven't been able to break through yet, that he might be the tip of the spear that goes and tries to break that ceiling. And when you show you can do what you did last night to a team like the Caps that's playing the way the Caps have been playing in an intense game, Martinook dropped the gloves. That's an atmosphere game, and to win in their building, congratulations, Brandon Bussi. You got some more opportunities coming your way. Up until now, I've been of the Brandon Bussi belief that you ride the hot hand. Now, for the first time, I'm saying he actually has some leash here, right? He can make some mistakes, and I'm still going back to him as if he's the top goalie.
And we haven't really seen him make many of those mistakes yet either. So
no, which is why I've had the luxury of just going give him more opportunity, because he hasn't faltered yet. Right? The real tough conversation is going to be when he has a game that it doesn't work, right? The best goaltenders of all time have rare but games where they're not seeing the puck well. And I up till now, it's been, do you show all this confidence in him after the first oopsies? After last night, I'm going, I think you deal with the first bad and you go back to him with no changes of the schedule. It's crazy for somebody 11 starts into their career for a cup contender. That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Somehow the Carolina pro teams won 2 games last night, and they only played one of them. The Canes won, and the Panthers won, and the Panthers didn't even have to put on cleats. The Falcons beat the Bucks on Thursday Night Football, which makes it a much easier path to the postseason for the Carolina Panthers. They are now, December 12th at 3:07 p.m., the Carolina Panthers are in sole possession of first place in the division. If the season ended right now, they're in the playoffs. Think about that.
And the path forward just became so very simple and very clear. You don't have to worry anymore about what help you might need or what things you might need to fall your way. If you want to play in the playoffs, win your next 2 games, and you are in. And even if you don't win both of them, even if you win just one, you're still squarely in the race. But the simplest path forward, if you win your next 2 games, you will be hosting a playoff game in the first round of the playoffs.
You can play the last 2 games of your regular season with the knowledge that you have already punched your ticket, with the knowledge that you can focus on whatever it takes you to be as ready as possible for the postseason. And in the process, you can rub it in the Bucs' face. The Bucs losing last night to a Falcons team that's already mathematically eliminated is egregious.
On their backup quarterback without their best wide receiver. Oof. Up by 14 in the fourth quarter.
Do you think Bijan Robinson was going to get the ball? I mean, it was like, how is this guy open in the pass game, the run game, the screen game? He's going to get the ball. He's the only one playing out there for him. And also Kyle Pitts. But, I mean, how could you predict Kyle Pitts was going to have
Pitts' legacy game.
million touchdowns? Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Bucs, needless to say, not pleased.
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You got to care enough where the hurts. You got to care enough where the hurts. It got to mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that. It was inexcusable, and there's no answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the mirror.
For those counting at home, that was 10 bleeps in that 26-second excerpt from Todd Bowles. So
for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Overlooking a team. Thursday Night Football is always weird, but that one was an inexplicable one.
Even you got Mike Evans back, too, and he had a huge game return. You're probably your emotional leader, like your veteran, your guy who's been there for years and is the leader of your team. He goes off and has a big game,
And Chris Godwin looked kind of healthy-ish at times for the first time in a while, caught a touchdown. Like there's some.
That team was like 5-1, and like they're talking about Baker for MVP, and now you look and they're 7-7.
They're behind the Carolina Panthers.
Lost like 5 of their last 7 or something like that. Like a bit of a collapse there. It's
a bit.
It's not, well, I mean, because there's time left, and look, like it's far from a guarantee that the Panthers win on Sunday and win the division, so they still have life to make it to the postseason. But yeah, this has not been a good stretch by any stretch of the imagination for Tampa.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Big weekend of college hoops coming your way. We'll go in chronological order, but just know that the latter game tomorrow is the bigger one. UNC is taking on South Carolina Upstate. That's tomorrow at 2 p.m. I actually find this fascinating. It's life is so different in college basketball, specifically for the Blue Bloods, the presumed power teams, and UNC obviously one of them. At the beginning of the year, because of how their last year had gone, and because of Baycott and Davis weren't walking through those doors, for a split second, the country was kind of enamored with them. Caleb Wilson, whoa, look at this guy. He's not a Boozer, a Peterson, or a DeBonsa. Like, oh, who's this other freshman? About a week ago, I felt it turn. And now if you say things like, I think Vasar and Wilson might be the best backcourt duo in the country. Now the Spears are out. Now everybody, no, here's the problem with Hubert, that they're already, it took like 5 games for everybody to go from, oh, look at that, UNC, cool, they're back, to, I hate that they're back. Welcome back, UNC. That's what it's supposed to be.
That's kind of how it is normally.
Welcome back.
The order has been restored in college basketball.
It doesn't take long, because so many other teams, when they have like a ramp-up year, for like a year or two, everybody's just in love with them until eventually, if you're good enough long enough, people are going to turn on you. Every dynasty has learned that in the history of the world. Just look at all the people celebrating the Chiefs' downfall. Remember when Patrick Mahomes was cool and magnetic? Now everybody hates him. It's crazy.
His team got too good.
UNC, they had a little struggle, right? Barely made the tournament last year. Now everybody's back to hating them just because they're good again. Happened like that. But they have a lot to work on, and specifically in the backcourt against SC Upstate. And then Kansas at NC State on Saturday. It's a 5:30 p.m. game. I usually don't lead with gambling numbers on this show.
No, this was very interesting. I agree.
Because it is what it is, right? If you don't gamble, you don't gamble. If you do, great. When I see a number that makes absolutely no sense, I get very curious. Not even absolutely no sense. That just is so far away from what I would have expected. NC State is favored by 1.5. They are favored. Now, I know, right, location matters and things like that, but Kansas is the top 25 team. NC State is not. NC State has lost whatever it is, 3 of their last 7. They haven't really gotten a premier victory of any kind. Their coach is lashing out. They did play very well against Liberty earlier this week, but I don't know what that, even their own coach said if they played the way they played against Liberty, in which they won by 40, they would only score 45 points against Kansas. That's Will Wade's words, not mine. So the fact that State is favored makes my antennas go up and says, what does Vegas know that I don't?
Maybe Peterson's still dealing with that that injury a little bit.
Could be some kind of an injury, which is always a possibility, right? They're more prepared for somebody not to play than the public is. Or they think NC State is a lot better than we've seen from them, and they think something clicked in that Liberty game that will make this a very different team this weekend against Kansas.
I thought the effort was pretty apparent in that game, especially on the defensive side of the floor. It just seemed like they were rotating really well. There's a lot of intensity, very active hands on defense. They were not giving Liberty many good looks, and that's a team that shot the three ball really, really well coming into that game, and they did not shoot it well against NC State, of course, only putting up 45 points. So you could kind of see the fire that might have been lit under them a little bit, and it wasn't the best game necessarily on the offensive end, and they still scored 85 points, but if they can really get that side of the ball rolling, I think the defense has gotten to a level where if the offense can support it, the defense is at the level that they want to be. So just get some more shots to fall. Get your top dogs to be your leaders. You need Darion Williams to kind of take a little bit more control tomorrow, and hopefully he'll come out and establish himself as that guy that they went and got out of the portal, because he's kind of like the missing piece right now for them to really get going downhill.
I agree with everything you said about the effort, the energy, the defense. They were better rebounders. They were better cutters. They will not get anywhere close to beating Kansas if Darion Williams and Paul McNeil Jr. combined for 15 points. Not within a stone's throw. And I guess Vegas is telling us they expect those guys to score. They might have to score combined like double that or more. They might have to be 30 combined or more in order for them to beat Kansas. But again, Vegas has them as a favorite, so very possible that I'm missing something. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. How historic is the Brandon Bussi start, and what does it mean for the future of the Canes? Stick around.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Handling with it, a tight turn, across for Ovechkin. Bussi with another save on Ovechkin.
He's got a hat trick of ace saves on Ovechkin in the third and now overtime.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Friday to you all. But specifically, happy Friday to Brandon Bussi. New goalie one for the Carolina Hurricanes? Question mark? Maybe exclamation point. Brandon Bussi got the win last night. His 11th appearance, his 10th win, which is an NHL record for a goalie. Here's Brandon Bussi himself reacting to his hot start to his season and his career.
Yeah, we're playing good hockey, so it's nice to be a small part of it, coming up when I'm needed, but ultimately we're playing really good hockey. It makes my life easy.
How about that? Small part of it. He's humble too. Here's what he's doing really, really well. And if you want goalie insight into like the, technique he's using to protect near post, Trip Tracy, right? Listen to him during the games. He can break all that down. He can give you that insight. But from where I think many of us are watching, it's just well timed, right? He's not giving up early soft goals, which is just helping to kind of set the tone. He's bailing out his teammates a bit more, right? You see somebody misplayed in front of him. You see Miller with a turnover, whatever it is. Bussi is making those stops, or even this. And I know it wasn't all him, but you could just tell he was prepared for it. In overtime yesterday, a couple of Canes decide they're going to go full like cartoon, run into each other or skate into each other and just badoop, pucks out. Here comes breakaway for the opponent. Oh, gosh. No, Bussi was just calm, cool, collected, bailing his teammates out. Turned what could have been like a Wide World of Sports, the bloopers of sports clip.
Not top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very cartoonish.
And turned it into just, all right, regroup. We got another shot at it. It's that sort of thing. No goalie stops every shot. No goalie allows 0 soft goals. But for whatever reason, the good ones, the timing matters, right? It's the same with pitchers, right? Pitchers a really, really good pitcher can give up like 7 hits that feel like 0 hits, right? A single in each inning over 8 innings that never threatens to score. It doesn't mean he's making no mistakes, right? He made 7 of them. Doesn't mean he's not doing anything wrong. It just means that timing is everything. Timing is everything. And when you look at his career, first of all, it's fascinating. Like I just want to give the guy credit. He's been battling for a very long time just to make it to the NHL. And the Carolina Hurricanes actually put out his timeline on Twitter, so I'll read it to you. Between 2022 and 2025, he played in 111 AHL games. As a goalie, that is a boatload. Because the AHL is kind of one of those places that you find out you're good or you find out you're bad. You know what I mean? You're not there it's like AAA, right? If you're in AAA for 10 years, you had to thread the needle perfectly between getting promoted and demoted for a decade, right? Brandon Bussi for a long time was just in that purgatory. Then signed by Florida on July 1st. Then claimed by the Canes on October 5th, then won his NHL debut on October 14th, then gets his first NHL shutout on November 30th, and then last night, December 11th, fastest goalie in NHL history to 10 wins. Rocket ship once things got going. Rocket ship. Brandon Bussi went from 111 AHL starts, waived, claimed, all that stuff, to stopping Alexander Ovechkin yesterday in a game that his team won in a shootout. Here's Bussi on facing Ovi and stopping him in that moment.
Yeah, it's cool. I actually played him in preseason last year when I was with Boston, so I guess that like starstruck feeling or what the feeling of like, wow, you're playing against him wasn't as bad today, but he's obviously scored a lot of goals. The puck goes on his stick. It's pretty lethal, so we did a good job for the most part of minimizing it.
You know how you know you're a new NHLer? When you still remember every time you played against Alexander Ovechkin And I'm not saying that a lot of them don't, but it's like, yeah, the last April 12th I played against him, and I walked by Sidney Crosby in the hallway when I was 9, and that's who he is. Brandon Bussi's brand new to this. And he's still having fun. Just listen to him tell us.
Yeah, I think it helps take away the nerves, I guess. I feel like I don't get too nervous in games, but being appreciative every day, having fun. Like, this is what you dream about as a kid, right? Just go out there and trust what you've done to get there, That's kind of all I really do.
The irony, or not even the irony, maybe if I were a superstitious person, I'd be very nervous about what I'm about to say. The good fortune of coming into a season, I believe they had bookmarked, they had set aside, like saving for a new car where you're taking your money, putting it in a jar, putting it into the corner. I believe they have a fund that they have saved for if and when we can trade for a goalie, and it's got prospects and it's got cap space and it's got picks, and they're like, we're just waiting for when the right deal shows up at the used car lot, right? There's waiting for the goalie. The fact that they perhaps have solved at least part of that equation for the immediate future with a guy that they claimed because they were worried about the guy that they had already had on the roster being claimed by someone else is an unbelievable turn of events. Do you know what's giving me the same vibes of? And, NFL fans, football fans will appreciate this. How the Niners spent $1 billion first-round picks and traded up to hopefully solve their quarterback spot with Trey Lance, and then they may have actually solved it in the 7th round of that same draft with Brock Purdy, and it's just like, well, I mean, not what you were trying to do, but it worked. Right, all the thought process we've put into how are they going to get the goalie to match up with the rest of the roster. Oh, they're never going to win no matter how good this is or that is. If they don't get the goalie that can make it, and then who knows? Maybe it's the waiver claim right before the season that makes all the difference. Is it mean to compare Bussi to Purdy? I don't know.
No,
stories seem kind of similar.
Who would that be mean to?
I don't know.
I think that's a complimentary to either one, because you're either a history-making goaltender who's won 10 out of your first 11, or a Mr. Irrelevant who ended up taking his team to the Super Bowl. Now, granted, he got hurt on the way there on one of the trips, but it's still, I think it's still complimentary to call Brandon Bussi equivalent of a quarterback that's led his team to a Super Bowl, and Brock Purdy to a guy who's had a historic start.
Brandon Bussi hopes that Brock Purdy money follows him pretty soon.
I don't know if any goalie has ever signed for that.
I don't know if anyone in hockey over any 4-year period has made Brock Purdy's single-year salary. But my point is, when you have this problem that you're spending all of your attention trying to fix, and you almost accidentally fix it, is a really fortuitous thing that can happen to a contender. And the Niners, specifically this era of Niners, and the Canes are kind of similar in that they've done darn near everything except hold the final trophy. And that's what they're going for. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of that win for the Canes last night in a shootout against the Washington Capitals to give the Canes the top spot in the Metro. We'll have reactions from our very own Adam Gold coming up next with 2 minutes of gold. Stick around.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know a lot of people have the old mindset, new year, new me. When the new year hits, when the calendar turns, I'm going to get on that weight loss journey. I say, why wait? Why wait? Get on the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center right now. I've been with the program for over 4 months, and not only have I lost 42 pounds, but I've maintained the weight that I've lost. The whole goal at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is not to just lose weight, it's to keep the pounds away. They reset and restart your metabolism with no surgeries, no shots, no injections, no steroids, none of the nasty side effects, just your body doing the natural thing. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. And when you join the program, use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. That deal runs all the way through December 19th. The promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges. I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list. An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part? You can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping. Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed. With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement, 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Come see Atlantic Spas and Billiards' brand new showroom. More wellness to experience with state-of-the-art Tilo saunas to see, more hot spring and Caldera hot tubs to sit in, and a full-service billiard and dart pro shop. Shop for awesome holiday gift ideas from grills to game tables. Outdoor recreation takes center stage with ping pong, foosball, pool tables, and more. Remodeling floor models and demos available for great pricing. Shop now and experience the beautiful brand new showroom, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, AtlanticSBNC.com.
Hey, it's Meredith at NC Jewelers in Garner, and it's time to start updating those wish lists because Christmas is right around the corner. But don't worry, we have you covered. Our store is fully stocked with beautiful and unique pieces anyone surely would love. And if you're thinking of popping the big question this Christmas, we have handpicked the most brilliant diamonds. Plus, all of our diamonds have the low price guarantee, so there's no risk or stress. And that's why we have been voted the Triangle's ultimate bridal destination. So come in and see us today. We are located right off of Highway 70 in Garner and at FeastofJewelers.com.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Are you coming here because you're going to put my Christmas tree up?
I wish. No, I'm coming here just to say happy holidays to all of our customers and thank you so much for this business for this year. We've done great, and it's been a great year, and just want to say thank you to all the folks out there that have done business with us this
Has
year.
it been a more difficult year? Has the weather been unusually bad? Is Santa going to be mad?
I don't think so. I think we've had a great year. You know, again, that's just a testament to our customers. They're loyal. We have a lot of customers, and we're just here to say thank you.
Santa's going to land on a lot of new roofs that you guys have put up.
And we can repair them. That's the perfect part of that.
Who else do you want to give a Merry Christmas wish to?
Our customers and our employees as well. You know, everybody in the office that makes it happen. Sammy, who makes it happen for us every day. So
I'm sure he gets all the Christmas wishes. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com online. Free, no obligation estimate there. Patrick Day's there.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Hurricanes got a win last night. 2 points against the Washington Capitals. Exciting game. I missed the first half. I was pretty frustrated. My internet was out. Finally got it up and running. They were down 1-0. Had to reset some modems, talk to some people from the internet provider, and finally got it up and running, and just in time to see Ehlers' goal. It was perfect. It was like he was waiting for me, really. I appreciate them waiting to start playing their real hockey until I logged on, but either way, I got to see all the good stuff. I assume I missed some Bussi saves, although I think it was at the end of the second period they put up a graphic. He had not gotten a lot of work.
No, I think it was, 9 shots for Washington through 2 periods?
So I missed the first period and half of the second period trying to get my internet working. I didn't miss much from Bussi. There obviously weren't any goals scored from the Canes, so I saw the good stuff. But in case there was something else to react to, let's go to 2 minutes of gold from Adam Gold, all about the win from last night for the Canes.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for 2 players who helped deliver 2 points to the Carolina Hurricanes last night, and it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers, parkwaysleep.com. Here's the thing. This is going to sound like a broken record because we've done this act a lot lately, but Brandon Bussi continues to write a story. Now 10-1 in his first 11 NHL starts. Nobody has ever done that before. He is on a list of his own, a list of 1, and it's not always how many saves you made. And he made 23 in the 3-2 shootout win over Washington. It's when you make them, and at times, who you make them against.
Now Bouvillier out in front. Ovechkin.
He just loves third periods.
Handling with it, a tight turn. Across for Ovechkin. Bussi with another save on Ovechkin.
He's got a hat trick of ace saves on Ovechkin in the third and now overtime.
By my count, I had 4 saves on Ovechkin. Officially, I think it's logged as 3. Maybe one of those saves was actually a shot that was off the mark. I don't know. But Brandon Bussi stopped the NHL's greatest ever goal scorer, point blank, twice in the shootout win. And then, of course, we get to the shootout, and he goes 3 for 3. Never mind that Washington is a train wreck, and they have lost all 4 shootouts this season. Now for the other player, because even though Seth Jarvis provided the game-winning goal or the game-deciding goal in the shootout, let this be the game that Nick Ehlers officially became a Hurricane.
Now Ehlers, back for Blake, back for Nikishin looking for a tip. Still there, the shoot, score! On the rebound, Nikolai Ehlers picks up the loose change and slams it home. And Carolina, they buzz in and they get rewarded. It's 1-1. Another chance here, and Sordiff will get this out for Sandin. His pass intercepted by Chatfield, and the Canes are going to come back the other way. Hustling in, trying to get it across for Blake. Second opportunity, they score! Logan Stankoven. It had been 14 games without a goal, but a huge marker here, and 22 ties it at 2.
1 goal, 1 primary assist, even though that was a shot that was blocked and fell to Logan Stankoven, and he was great too. But Nick Ehlers was all over the game. Fantastic performance start to finish. Number 27 officially became a Hurricane last night in D.C. Now it's on to Philadelphia for a home and home with the Flyers. See what happens. How many of those games is Brandon Bussi going to start? Carolina gets the 2 that they needed, and you can get the rest you need. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off for the bus heading to Philly.
Heading to Philly and then traveling with Philly back. There's a little double-double this weekend for the Carolina Hurricanes. The Philly. Might call the weekend the Philly Special. Playing Philly twice. You can hear all those games right here on 99.9 The Fan, as well as on the 99.9 The Fan app. I suggest you download it from the Google Play and App Store and give us good ratings. That's what I'm suggesting. That is 2 minutes of gold. Thank you to Adam. Let's jump straight into the Dean's List. Dean's List. Let's start. First of all, this should be on the Dean's List every year. I'll try to remember. Army Navy. It's such a cool event this weekend. And do you know what else I really respect the whole college football world for doing?
Not scheduling any games.
Yeah, nobody really infringes on Army Navy. Like every other, seemingly like real estate carved out for a sport or for a game gets infringed upon by somebody else trying to make a business decision. But Army Navy really does have just the, nope, this is ours. You're good, which I respect about everybody else letting that rock. Army Navy Saturday. It's supposed to be cold. I have a feeling the players will be tough enough to handle it because they're wildly tough individuals. So Army Navy this weekend on the Dean's List. More Dean's List. NC State men's soccer tonight. St. Louis, meaning they're playing against St. Louis. It's actually right here in Cary, so it's the exact opposite of far away. It is the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. Winner goes to the national championship. NC State men's soccer versus St. Louis tonight, 8:30 p.m. in Cary. It's always, Final Four is always exciting. In anything, if you make it to the Final Four, as long as you didn't start with 4, that's pretty good. So shout out to the Wolfpack. It's been a long time, I believe, since they've been in the mix for men's soccer, so good luck to them. Do you have any Dean's List you'd like to throw out here, Max?
Kind of pursuant to yours, and I'm actually pulling up the name of this award right now, but
you can describe it.
Working. Yeah, so basically there's a Heisman Award for, like, not the Heisman Award, but like the Heisman Award equivalent in college soccer. It's called the Herman Trophy.
The Herman Trophy?
Yes, the Herman Trophy. And the winner, he plays for NC State. I just want to make sure I get the name right.
Aiden Payne?
It is not Aiden Payne.
Oh.
It is not in front of me right now.
Aiden Payne won the Elite Soccer Athlete Award, Elite Scholar Athlete Award for men's soccer. He also plays on the NC State team.
That's why I can't find it. I think maybe they just have a list of finalists, but I know NC State has a finalist on the Herman Trophy watch list, finalist list, whatever it was.
Now we have to know. Now we need to know. Let's figure this out.
I'm doing further research. Go ahead and add on to the dean's list. I'll get with this finalist that for some reason I cannot
Herman
find.
Trophy. Additional dean's listers. I just think this is a fascinating part of college football. College football coaches whose names popping up for Michigan. On3, who does a lot of reporting on NIL and contracts and coaching contracts and NIL budgets and everything. They estimated, this was when Penn State was still open, when the Penn State job was still open, that coaches across the country had used Penn State as leverage to sign over $400 million in extensions. So, hey, I'm going to consider this Penn State job. I'd love to commit here, but you give me $4 million extra a year. Okay, deal.
Okay, and I did before we finish, I did want to follow up.
Yep.
We have 2 finalists for the Herman Trophy from NC State soccer: Nikola Markovic, defender, and Donovan Phillip.
There you
forward.
go.
They're both in the final 15 for the Herman Trophy, which is basically the best college soccer player. Apologies to those 2 for not having it right on hand.
Thank you for figuring it out. So anyway, anybody whose name's popping up for Michigan, I assume, is going to get paid in similar ways that they got paid to Penn State. I'm waiting on somebody to double dip. Somebody to get the contract extension, make the announcement that they're not taking the Penn State job. Get another contract extension, make the announcement that they're not taking the Michigan job. I saw some message boards at LSU already saying, it really would be nice if Lane Kiffin would say publicly that he's not taking the Michigan job. He'd been there like a week.
That?
Yes, they're worried about it. It's Lane Kiffin. You have to worry about him leaving all the time.
I guess that's true. I feel like LSU fits his MO a little bit more than Michigan, though.
I think it's.
But money talks.
I think they think he just goes to where the money is the greatest, and then he'll tell everybody. It hasn't even checked the contract. And then lastly, this is my last Dean's Lister of the day. I want to give Kansas basketball a shout out. They're completing the Triangle Trio this weekend. They're playing NC State this weekend, men's basketball. They've already played and lost to UNC and Duke. Listen, I get wanting premier games and stuff. If I'm another team in another conference, I'm not playing all 3 of them. I'm doing what I can to avoid playing all 3 of them. And I even respect, I'm applauding them for doing it. I think it's honorable. I think it's great for college basketball that we have all these big-time matchups. But I just think you can get wins elsewhere, and, 1 or 2 of those games is enough to show that you're not scared in your non-conference schedule.
Well, kind of related to that, I'll throw a late addition of Dan Hurley to the Dean's List. Did you see what he said today about what they're trying to schedule next year for UConn basketball?
No.
They want to schedule 8 high major non-conference games next year. And he said, when I wake up the day of a bye game, I just want to go die.
All right, well, the last part's a little dramatic, but I like where his head's at.
I love that level of competition, though.
I like where his head's at.
We got to support the smaller schools, but at the same time, we need a high level of competition. It's weird how it's kind of flip-flop from basketball and college football. College football, you kind of get rewarded for playing a weaker non-conference slate and just making sure you get your wins, whereas college basketball, you kind of get rewarded just for scheduling the strong teams, even if you don't necessarily win those games in non-con.
We don't have a ton of time for this, but I'm becoming more inclined to suggest this as a college basketball, college football, anything where there's a committee that has to decide. I think we need more standard regulations on
like
schedules.
How you qualify, or just everyone's schedule needs to be similar.
Like in college football, the way I believe it needs to be, has to be, is 10 conference games, 1 non-conference power conference game, 1 non-conference group of 5 game, and then an FCS game can be your spring game, so you play somebody else in your spring game, and that lets the FCS have their kind of big moments, and also because then when you're comparing schedules at the end, you at least know everybody played the same level of opponents, and you're not trying to compare somebody that played, 10 power conference games against somebody that played 8 power conference games and somebody that played, 3 group of 5. It just doesn't it's not adding up. And college basketball is the same way. At the end, we're going to have resumes for the bubble. And one team's going to have played in Maui and have played 4 premier non-conference games, and their schedule's going to be tough, and they're going to have more losses. Meanwhile, somebody's going to have played essentially nobody in their non-conference and have way more wins, and that's just the calculus becomes more difficult. So if you could just tell everybody you're going to play, I don't know what the exact number of total games would be, but if you just told everybody in college basketball, if you were in a power conference, okay, so we're only talking about the ones that are really trying to make it, right? You're going to play 32 games, right? 20 of them will be in conference. Of those 12, 8 power conference, 2 group of 5, or 2 mid-major, I guess, and then 2 whatever, 2 lower mid-major. I don't know. They don't really have FCS in college basketball. Then, at the end, the resumes will be much more like apples to apples, or at least apples to like tangerines. Right now, there's kumquats to watermelons. Like, they're not even close. Standard schedules, I think, solves a lot. I think it solves a good deal. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Manor Service Company. Similarly to that logic, right? It would be, I don't want to say an easy profession, but it would be much easier to do what Manor Service Company does, right? Fix your heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, service, and maintain your heating systems, your cooling systems, your plumbing, and your electrical work if every single house had the exact same apparatuses, right? If every single house had their water heater installed at the exact same time, so it had the same technology inside. Every single house had the same electricians working on it. Then, you just have to memorize like 10 things and you could go fix everybody's house. But that's not how it is. It's like everybody having a different schedule. It's like everybody playing in a different conference. You show up, your water heater's from 2013, your HVAC was replaced in 2018, your electrician was done half by your uncle, half by your grandpa, and half by the electrician that the previous owners hired, and none of it is done up to code, right? So they have to show up and be able to handle everything. That's why Manor Service Company spends darn near as much time in the field as they do training. Right? It's all about education. It's all about making sure they know as much as possible, so whatever you have going on in your fingerprint of a house that's completely unique to you, they know how to fix it, they know how to maintain it, they know how to service it, they know how to get it back up to code. The number to call for more information from Manor Service Company is 919-361-0993, 919-361-0993, or visit them online at manorservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, some big news out of the college football world, and one piece of maybe no news could be good news in the college football world. We'll break it all down for you next.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Tim, I'm receiving an important update.
Ooh, are you getting night vision?
No. I just found out you could get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender.
So, no night vision?
No night vision.
Learn more at NavyFederal.org/autoloans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loan must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for the Butcher's Market. And you know the holidays are here, and if you're looking for the perfect gift, I've got you covered. A membership to the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. You'll get a different hand-cut steak every month for 6 months. Some serious holiday sizzle. And there's more to celebrate. The Butcher's Market was just awarded the North Carolina Small Business Retailer of the Year. With 5 Triangle locations, it's easy to shop local this season. Visit thebutchersmarkets.com. That's thebutchersmarkets.com.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. This holiday season, why not give a gift that truly shines? At Bailey's, we believe in making every moment special, and our carefully curated selection of fine jewelry is sure to bring joy to your loved ones. From stunning diamonds to designer jewelry and luxury watches, we have the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Gift the magic of a Bailey box and make this Christmas unforgettable. Visit us today in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO. Every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. Max Gorham producing the show today. The music, was this your music selection or was that just a random?
I mean, it's kind of random, but I like Seal.
I mean, of course. How could I not know that you're a big Seal fan? Max's musical taste just fascinates me. I don't know if anyone else is interested by it, but I just have to ask more questions about it every time he produces the show. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time, so we got to move on from the Seal discourse to talk about college football. Freddie Kitchens, offensive coordinator for UNC in Bill Belichick's debut college football season, not going to be around for year number 2. He was given the boot, relieved of his duties. First of all, it was going to happen, right? The offense was bad, and somebody was going to have to answer for that. So Freddie Kitchens the one to answer for it. Needed change. I think the more interesting way to look at this is not to just continue to pile on Freddie Kitchens, right? Freddie Kitchens didn't run a great offense. I think many people weren't expecting great things from him, so it's the mean things have been said. We don't have to pile on. Belichick has to be a better hirer, specifically a better hirer of people that are not in his family, right? The defense played well. The defense got better as the season went along. The defense is run almost entirely by Belichick's. So if you weren't somebody that is either perhaps the greatest coach of all time or grew up in a household with the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick didn't do a great job hiring this year, right? The front office didn't bring in a roster that's loaded with talent. The offense, which was entirely run by people whose name is not Belichick, did not produce anything near a competent ACC offense. They need to do a better job of hiring.
They won't.
Well, you'd hope that they're going to learn from their mistakes. There's really just one thing that I think they should focus on, and then once they get this one thing, everything becomes much easier. I think the offensive coordinator should be somebody who is, like, comically a grizzled college football lifer. Like 40 years in Division like 1 MAC football or something. Like cold weather, group of 5, 50 years as a recruiting coordinator. Something like that. And it's very similar to when like a 34-year-old head coach happens. I always like when McVay was he took over with the Rams and his defensive coordinator was like Wade Phillips. And I'm going like, okay, you have a guy with no experience being a head coach, but all the offensive wonderkind vibes, knowledge of new offenses, he's got that covered, but he has this blind spot in how to be a head coach. bring in a guy who has all of that covered and none of the other stuff, right? You have to cover each other's blind spots. So Bill Belichick came down to the college level with this 33rd NFL team thing and went and got everybody with NFL experience. And I'm going, no, that's duplication, right? Bill Belichick, you're the NFL connect. You don't need any help with NFL knowledge. You have 6 Super Bowls.
You got to get some college guys in
there.
You
need some people that cover your blind spot. You need somebody to tell you, the dynamics of a group of 19-year-olds in the locker room. You don't know anything about that. You know the dynamic of 27-year-olds in a locker room. So if they go get somebody, for lack of I think if they went and got like a David Cutcliffe, right? Like somebody who had been in college, the SEC, the ACC, obviously not actually David Cutcliffe, just somebody whose resume looks like David Cutcliffe, been a coordinator, been a head coach, position coach in a bunch of different spots, has some success, has some things they want to do better. Like if all of that is what they bring in, then I'm going, okay, maybe they did learn a bit from this past year. But if they bring in, Brian Daboll.
What about Chip Kelly?
Maybe. I mean,
that's what Paul Ian and I were talking about this morning. That was his first thing. I don't know if he was serious or not, but that was the first name that came to his mind.
Chip Kelly has a lot of college experience. I mean, going back to New Hampshire, he's a lot of college. New Hampshire, obviously the Oregon stuff, UCLA, Ohio State. That'd be something there. I don't know if Chip Kelly's a control freak. I don't know if people know this about Chip. I knew some people that were working in and around the Philadelphia Eagles when he took it over. They were weighing players' food. Like when they got it at the cafeteria, they were measuring caloric intake down to the ounce. I'm not sure Bill Belichick.
Maybe not the best thing to add to this Carolina football program.
I'm not saying he would try to do that because hopefully he learned that it didn't work that well in Philly. But I'm just saying I'm not sure. Those seem like two very headstrong alphas. If you're watching a nature documentary, they seem like two, rams where the guy who mumbles in a British accent shows up and is like, and now that there's 2 of them, there will be there will be tense
territorial activity.
Yeah, exactly. Tense atmosphere in the pack until one departs, culminating in a ferocious battle on the countryside. I don't know how well that would work, but somebody with a resume like that, maybe it would even almost be better if they failed in the NFL a couple times because it would show that Belichick is not going all in on NFL success.
You need some college-style guys.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of agree with you there, but they need that for, I think, the head coach. They're going to drag their feet on Belichick. Obviously, they've committed a lot of money to him, and, there's no easy way to, buy him out, or maybe I don't think anyone is necessarily in a rush right now to hire him away, but I mean, if we're being honest, if we're looking at the results of this year, who did they beat that actually had a pulse? Really? They beat a Stanford team that was sub 500. They beat a Syracuse team that was...
The 2 most impressive games for them were the 2 games right before their little winning turnaround that weren't actually wins, but they took...
Cal
and
loss in Virginia. The Virginia game was fairly close.
They were
again,
a eyelash away from winning those 2 games, and their whole season's different. And again, you can't go back and change things, but... The defense got better.
It did get better, but the offense was, and that's why Freddie Kitchens ends up getting let go. But
so it comes down to how much did you learn from last year, and do you know how to fix it?
It's really a lot of it's roster building too. They're going to need to bring in, but then you also come up with the same thing of last year where it was like, oh, we brought in 70 new players. Like, how are we going to get these guys all to play together and succeed in the first year? If you have a ton of new players coming in next year, I can't imagine that it's going to be a quick turnaround where all of a sudden it becomes a winning team.
Other people have been able to win with new players. It is, I wouldn't say it's easy. It is a different skill set. But we have seen teams go from bad to very good using the portal to spark that in a big way. It's possible. It would take a large amount of humble pie from the Belichicks, specifically Bill, saying, I didn't do a lot of this right. Let me bring in somebody that is an expert in XYZ, and you have to listen to him. right? It's one thing just to hire them and say, I need more help here. It's another thing to bring in somebody, say, I need more help here, especially if it's somebody that's not in your inner circle from New England. Like, don't go get Joe Judge. Don't go get, the Charlie Weiss. I don't know, whoever else is Romeo Crennel. Don't go grab one of your old coordinators. Get somebody from outside that's a college guy, and then you have to listen to him. And that's like I said, these are alphas. These are people that on the side of hills. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's some other news out of NC State as well, or non-news. We'll get to that later in the show. Because it is almost time for football at 4. The Panthers received a gift last night. Honor that gift and play well. Next.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately.
Nope, sticking to our go-to places.
You mean like Sharky's?
Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime. And Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. With a weak system passing through the area today, we'll have some stubborn cloud cover with just a bit of clearing through the afternoon. Highs will reach the 40s, then partly cloudy overnight into Saturday morning. Temperatures to start the day on Saturday will sit at around 30. Highs in the mid to upper 50s Saturday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 245 points to 48,458.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 could start nowhere other than the Carolina Panthers are in first place in the NFC South. Alone, sole possession of first place, because the Bucs just could not be bothered to beat the Falcons on a Thursday night.
You like that? You like that?
No, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to do the Kirk Cousins, go for it. I'm waiting.
I don't want to peek the microphone.
I need more power.
I don't want to peek the microphone.
You like that? Come on, Max, give it to us.
Okay. You like that?
Nah, you're still.
You like that?
You're still holding back.
I don't want to peek the microphone.
You're still holding back. Listen, Kirk Cousins and the Carolina Nope. And the Atlanta Falcons, although last night they were kind of mixed, the Falcons they're eliminated. They're playing for pride. They're actually playing to hurt their draft pick, which they don't own.
Yeah,
so
they don't have
to hurt their second-round draft pick and beyond. They're playing for nothing. And the Buccaneers are playing for everything. The Buccaneers are an old team. They like Mike Evans ain't getting any younger. Baker Mayfield's in his 30s. They've got some older guys, and they need to make the playoffs every year in this window, and they just opened up a red carpet for the Carolina Panthers to walk down to the postseason. Now, here's the flip side of that coin. When somebody makes it so much more attainable for you to make the postseason, it makes it even more critical that you take care of your end of the business. Right? When you get to a point, I think the Chiefs are there now where it's like you got to win out. And yeah, like you're still alive, you're still in the mix. You can go try to make the postseason, but everybody understands it's unlikely. The more likely it becomes, it's almost like the pressure goes up, right? When you're nearly counted out, all right, what do you have to lose, right? Go set it free. The Carolina Panthers, if they win their next 2 games, they play the Saints this week, the Falcons the week after. If they win those 2 games, they're in the postseason. Punch the ticket, clear your calendar, make plans to be wherever you want to be to watch that playoff game. They're in the postseason. And even if they lose one of those 2 games, if they split them, then they can still bounce back and beat the Bucs later in the season and go to the postseason anyway. That is attainable. It is now to the point. They've crossed a different threshold, which, by the way, credit to you. I know you didn't have anything to do with the game last night, but credit to you. They are now to a point where if you don't make the postseason, it's disappointing. You're past the point of, well, it'd be a nice surprise, and it's no. Based on, like, if you drop your team to start right here, from this point forward, you make the postseason, or else you're sad.
Yeah, it went from like you're kind of happy to be here, showing some signs of progress, showing growth, to okay, like it's like the path is right in front of you. If you don't walk it and make it to the playoffs, like maybe you're not the team that we thought you were.
Now, if I'm still not even sure if, and this is will probably people identify me as a hater. I'm still not sure if they're a playoff worthy team. Right? I still think if you drop them in most divisions, there's 0% chance we're talking about it like this.
No, probably not. But
in the NFC South, with the way that you've been helped around you, with the way the Bucs have collapsed, with the way the Saints have stunk, with the way the Falcons can't put it together, with all of this, you're like by default you go to the postseason just by being a mildly competent franchise.
Yes, it goes to show that you are competent and competitive at the very least. Where like in this situation, you don't really have excuses, but to make the playoffs.
When things unexpectedly go your way, say thank you. And go make the best of it, right? It's let me think of I don't even know if this is the perfect analogy, but it seems kind of appropriate based on the last year of tabloid news that I occasionally learn against my will. Do you know how? Actually, I'll take a step back. Have you heard of the term Nepo baby? Nepo baby? For like the actors and musicians whose parents are actors
or
and
beneficiaries of nepotism, yes.
Like if your dad was a superstar, your mom was a Hollywood darling, and now look at that. All of a sudden you're getting the chance to star in movies without having to work that hard. It's become this really weird conversation, and I only hear it like on the outside, but people are like, you're a Nepo baby, and people get really mad about it. Do you know what's the perfect response when people call you a Nepo baby? You go, I completely understand that I have not earned all of the things that all the opportunities that I've been given. My parents worked very hard. I'm very thankful for them. I will work as hard as I possibly can to take advantage of those opportunities because I understand that not everybody is given them. That's all you have to say. Instead of, no, I've earned all of this on merit. Everybody's godfather is Steven Spielberg, right? Everybody could do what I do if they just live next door to the Schwarzeneggers. Like, I don't know why you get mad about it. So I'm looking at the Panthers the same way, right? I'm going to say you have an easy path to the postseason. You can get mad about it and go, no, did you see what we did against Green Bay? We scrapped and clawed and did everything we could. No, listen. The only thing you can do from this point forward is do absolutely everything you can to take advantage of the opportunity that's been gift-wrapped for you. You are in a division with the Three Stooges. You are in a division with Mo, Curly, and Larry, and they just poked each other in the eye last night on Thursday Night Football and hit each other on the head with a spray bottle. And all you have to do is take care of business and show up and play competent football for the next 2 weeks, and you get to go to the postseason. And you get to have all the trappings of that. You get to have all the fun. You get to learn all the lessons. You get to put it on everyone's resume. You get to be in an attractive place for free agents. You get to have Dave Canales with young ascending coach written next to his name when 2 months ago people were thinking about replacing him. You get to have Bryce Young have a postseason performance. All you have to do is absolutely everything you possibly can. The late bye, it was a chore, right? A week 14 bye, that's rough, right? That's 13 straight weeks of NFL football for like if you're a rookie. 13 weeks is more than a season in college, right? 13 weeks is your entire regular season and a bowl. It's your entire regular season and a conference championship. You went 13 weeks with no bye week, but it's kind of worked out perfectly because now with the way your division is falling apart, you have 4 games, 3 of them in division, which are wildly important. If you win 2 of those 3, you're in the postseason, and you're as healthy as any team in the NFL. J.C. Horn cleared concussion protocol. Lathan Ransom was a full participant today. CanesMas was a full participant today. You're as healthy as any team in the NFL coming off a bye, knowing full well what's in front of you. We're gonna play some audio for you from Dave Canales, all about how last night doesn't impact anything for the Panthers. And I think it's a good coaching point, right? Like keep your eyes down, blinders, control what you can control. It's 100% not true. It changes everything. It changes everything. The postseason has never been more tangible for this version of the Carolina Panthers. It's never been more within reach than the Carolina Panthers. And that should lock you in, focus you, tunnel vision you more than you've ever been. Here's Dave Canales on the Falcons win and if it affects their preparation at all.
It's the same process that we've had all year. Every game is a championship opportunity, and where we've been even before the game last night, approaching this game and respecting the opponent, respecting the Saints, and, the challenges that we have right in front of us. And so that's got to be the focus. And for us, our pursuit is to find our best football and to continue to work on the things, from all phases that we're trying to improve upon and that we can count on. And so keeping the guys locked in and focused on that and understanding we have this opportunity right in front of us. In the division and what's looking at us, it's easy for me to sell that.
I will be disappointed if the Carolina Panthers don't make the postseason. I never thought I would say that. I love that I am wrong about never thinking I would say that. I will be disappointed if they aren't playing playoff football this year. Thank you, Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and the Atlanta Falcons for making that sentence possible this
and
week.
The ageless Kirk Cousins.
He's
73 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He's not ageless. He looked old a few times there. But you know who actually looked older than him? I don't think he's 100%. Baker Mayfield. There were a few times where Baker stepped up in the pocket, and I was like, go! Just because I root for quarterbacks, like always root for offense, just the way my brain works. And he would start to run and just wouldn't go anywhere. It was like he was a cartoon running on ice, just going nowhere.
There's no age limit on NFL quarterbacks. That's clear because a 44-year-old is probably going to start on Sunday. So
we'll see what that means. We'll see if there might be an age limit. He just might not know it. He might have cross that line. We'll see. Phillip Rivers is a character, man. We have some breaking news for you out of the NHL, specifically for the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll hit that breaking news coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
When the Eagles' offense looks wrong is when they're right. Every complaint was correct based on the way the offense looked, but that's how they win. When they looked wrong, they were right. Now, when they're trying to look right, they go wrong. Every time the offense looks bad, previously, is when they have actually won games.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. It is holiday season, everybody. It is the holiday season. And I was just talking with somebody off air today. They were going or actually a friend was going to Bailey's Fine Jewelry for some holiday shopping. And I was talking about, what are they looking for? What's their budget? And the cool part was, whatever the answer to that question is, right? They're going to Bailey's Fine Jewelry to do some holiday shopping. What's their budget? No matter what your answer is, I was prepared to give him an answer. I was prepared to suggest something to him, right? I want to spend a couple $100. Well, perfect. I know exactly where to send you. Go check out some of the Timexes. Go check out some of the G-Shocks. You can get a great watch for that type of budget. Hey, I want to spend $40,000. Well, you can go get a one-of-a-kind pre-owned and vintage Rolex. Or how about a silver Snoopy Omega Speedmaster? Maybe some rose gold with a like an olive green dial, something unbelievably unique from Omega. They have everything and everything in between. When it comes to this holiday season, if you want to put a smile on one of your loved ones' faces, how about a bold new style from Blancpain or Norcane or Hamilton? Or then go and check out the main showroom with all of the jewelry, handbags, estate jewelry, so much available at Bailey's Fine Jewelry and the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop and the Omega Boutique, which are all located within Bailey's at their Village District location in Raleigh. So no matter what your budget is this holiday season, make sure you make your way out to Bailey's Fine Jewelry and tell them you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby! Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
And sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/125 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have some breaking news out of the Carolina Hurricanes front office. Thank you very much. There's been some cool stories for the Canes this year. Charles Alexis Legault was a cool one. Brandon Bussi's a really cool one. Joel Nystrom, one of the cool ones. The rookie has signed a 4-year contract extension carrying an average annual value of $1.225 million. Listen, Nystrom, from the time he was emergency called up till now, has just continued to be super duper solid, right? And the advanced analytics say he's been super duper solid. He's based on, actually, let me take a step back. First of all, congratulations to the young man. 4 years connected to an organization like the Carolina Hurricanes. He already fits into the system, and he already looks like he belongs. And with Jacob Slavin appearing to be nearing a comeback, whoever knows, how many games it'll take, but he's skating in a regular sweater and some of the practice and morning skates and things that are available to the public. There's a chance Nystrom is kind of the odd man out there, and perhaps they don't even want him to be the seventh defenseman, the healthy scratch most nights. They want him skating, so maybe he's in the AHL kind of soon, or at least in limbo, right? So I think this is a good move by the team to show confidence in him right as he is entering into a strange part of the roster if Slavin comes back. But I thought this was interesting. We're going to do a little Nystrom conversation here, so just everybody buckle up. Another Swede, by the way, so got to have a couple of from all over the globe. Have you watched the latest behind-the-scenes thing that the Canes put out, the Behind the Storm?
No, I haven't seen the latest episode of the Behind the Storm.
So there's this YouTube. It's kind of Hard Knocks-ish, but it's put out by the team, and it's much more. If you're in the media world, they call it snackable content. It's like 12 to 14 minutes. They put one out every handful of weeks, and it's about what's going on behind the scenes with the team. The more interesting. Obviously, I consume entirely too much Canes content, or maybe not enough, but a lot of Canes content. And because of that, the behind-the-scenes stuff is fascinating for, the little – you get to go, shoe shopping with Blake and Stankoven. They do that kind of fun, personal stuff. But also, I guess it takes them a while to produce it, and I'm not complaining, but – it's like a month in the past or 6 weeks in the past is the games and things that they're showing in this documentary. They're finally getting around. They posted it this week. So the post-game locker room talks and stuff that they're showing in this piece of content that I watched this week are from right when Nystrom was being emergency called up, right? And they're from, a bunch of weeks ago. And what it does for me is it's just a reminder of how quickly things change. Because we're already to the point now where Bussi and Nystrom are super dependent on, right? They're in the game. We're not worried about them in the least. If Nystrom is, if guys get hurt and somebody unusual's in the box and he's got to kill a penalty, I'm not what are they doing with the rookie out there? There was a point in time not that long ago when Nystrom had to get out there and kill a penalty, and I was like, oh, no, what is he doing out there? Right? They were giving him props for playing well in a game that he was just called up in this documentary series, and it's a reminder that things change quick in the NHL. Right? And it's a reminder that the old cliche of stay ready so you don't have to get ready is so important. Nystrom was given, because of injury, a pretty big opportunity, right? And think about it. Guys that have spent time injured. Chatfield was injured. Slavin's been injured for a long time. Miller was injured. Gostisbehere's been injured. Charles Alexis Legault showed up and got injured. And Nystrom showed up, played well. All right, well, let's keep him around. Played well. Another guy gets healthy. Well, let's keep Nystrom in. Another guy gets healthy. Nystrom is the last kind of non-regular that's solidly in the line right now because Slavin's out. Solidly in the lineup, I should say, because Slavin's out. And now he's getting a 4-year contract extension. I think he had played something like 7 games in North America when he got the first call up. That's a really, really good bit of talent identification, right? Development, staying in communication by the front office and the player. And then just give a lot of credit to the player for showing up completely ready for the opportunity he was given. Because Nystrom, like the way that he was called up, if he struggled back down in the AHL, nobody would think anything of it. It wouldn't even have been like a black mark on his record. It would have been, wow, young guy was put in a really tough situation, wasn't quite ready for it. Let's let him do some more seasoning down in the AHL. Still a good prospect, still like his physical tools. But instead, he showed up and played well and went, all right, now let's keep him around. All right, now let's see what he's got. All right, now Riley's going to be the healthy scratch. All right, now this, now this, now this. Now he's signed to a 4-year extension. Very happy for the young individual, especially because, like I said, if Slavin comes back, he might not get nearly the minutes this season that he's been accustomed to over the last 2 months.
Yeah, and it's hard to predict how they foresee his role kind of going into the future as well, just because now there's a bit of a logjam when it comes to defense, and they're still going to have to offer a new contract to Alexander Nikishin after this season as well. You've got Jacob Slavin, who's locked up long-term. You've got Sean Walker, who I believe after this year will still have 3 seasons left on his contract. Shane Gostisbehere, I think, has another year left after this year. Keandre Miller, another long-term deal. So lots of guys already locked up on the back end. And then, of course, you go out in the market and you hear rumors of guys like a Quinn Hughes that are on the market. And, that might be a little bit of a crazy thought, although,
it's only crazy if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, they've already traded for some big name players over the last couple of seasons, so they've shown they're not afraid to make that move anyway. I like that they don't really feel restricted by like traditional.
Well, here's what it does.
Things like positional fit, like they just want to go get the best players and lock them up no matter where they are.
Here's what it does. And we said this at the beginning, and people actually got mad at me for it because they think I control the sports cosmos with what I say on air. I was saying when they were dealing with all those injuries, if you make it out on the other side and you're still near the top of the division and you're still winning enough games and you're still being productive enough, you didn't sacrifice anything postseason wise with these injuries, you're going to be better on the other side for it. And the reason being is you could argue that one of the main reasons why your season was kind of upended last year was because you had some injuries and your depth wasn't ready for it. Remember when we were debating whether Scott Morrow or Alexander Nikishin would draw in as defensemen, and Alexander Nikishin had been in North America for like a half a beat, and they were worried about his language barrier, and Scott Morrow was in there and wasn't playing great, but it was not great, right? Because Chatfield was hurt. And what was it? Was Walker hurt also? I forget. I don't want to say you'd be excited, but if Nystrom is the guy that draws in because you have a really poorly timed injury in the postseason, you feel a bajillion times better with where you are than you did in that moment last year, where you felt like you were picking between the lesser of two evils. And then the depth gives you the option to have absolutely everything at your fingertips as far as what you brought up. Say there's a trade for, and Quinn Hughes is being talked about a lot, but Alex Tuck's being talked about a lot, right? Or Tage Thompson has been talked about a lot, and we could go on and on with all of these, pipe dream targets. But what if there is like a true, oh my goodness, there's the piece, he puts us over the top, that's the guy, second line center or goalie or whatever. And they say, like the opposing team in the trade negotiations says, there is 0.0% chance we are giving up this player without getting Alexander Nikishin. Keep in mind,
the guy coming back would have to be Quinn Hughes,
yes.
And they'd have to have like a guarantee that, yeah, he's willing to sign an extension with you.
Well, yes, and that would probably go on both sides of that deal. They're not taking Nikishin on his deal either. But I'm like spitballing here, right? Let's pretend it's Wayne Gretzky in '86. Like I don't want to put a name on the other one, but I'm just saying. In years past, it would have had to been like, well, then we're solving a problem and creating a new one. Bringing Nystrom into your everyday, if you get a unbelievable player in return, it gives you more options, which is all you can ask for as far as roster management is, well, let's see how this works. Let's put the names on the whiteboard with the magnets and let's move guys around and see what our roster looks like. Is it better with player we acquired, boom, here, and Nystrom in the starting lineup? Or is it better with out player we're trying to acquire and Nystrom as a 7th or 8th defenseman? Like, that's what you now get to ask yourself. And Charles Alexis Legault into the future and all of these other things that you can move around. We already kind of see it with like a Bradley Nadeau, where Bradley Nadeau's a good piece of your organization. You want to have him around. He's kind of an exciting thing to think about in the future. But with the way your forwards are playing and with the depth you have, if somebody made him a gotta-have-it player, yeah, cool. Like, if we're improving our team in that way, it's we can see it happen. Just gives you more options. The more options you have, the more likely you can take advantage of some kind of a market out there in the trade world or in the free agency world. So, Joel Nystrom, it's a 4-year deal, $1.225 million on the extension, which also puts just a little change in the pocket of a young guy, right?
Yeah, you love these kind of low dollar extensions for guys that play pivotal roles. It reminds me a lot of the Eric Robinson contract he signed this past offseason. It was like 4 times 1.7. It's not going to break your cap sheet at all, but it locks up a very reliable player. Plays his role well, adds a good spark to your lineup, and it's just good to have the guarantee of a player who is comfortable in your system, does what you need him to do, and you have that no matter what. And then if it's someone who's even like deeper depth, kind of like a Nystrom, who normally wouldn't be in your top 6 when everyone's healthy, well, it's good to know. If someone goes down, we've seen that plenty of times this year. You have that guy that you can rely upon to fill the role. He's going to be comfortable, and he's going to look like he knows how to play in your system and not break down defensively and give the other team goals.
He appears to very quickly have become somebody Rod Brindamore trusts on the ice. And that right there might be worth $1.225 million a year. Just having somebody that Rod trusts on the ice in a position that it's not the easiest place to earn trust. And again, congratulations to the player. It's also just a cool moment for him. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's look towards some college basketball, shall we? Because we are here in the Triangle in North Carolina, and that sort of thing matters around here. We'll start with Kansas at NC State. And I said this earlier, but it still remains quite strange to me. NC State is favored in this game by a point and a half. At least they were right before this show started, so an hour and a half ago, and I don't anticipate the line moved a ton since then. Kansas is 19 ranked. They're ranked 19th in the country. They're both 7-3 on the season. Kansas has lost 3 games, obviously, 7-3. But Duke, UNC, and by the way, their best player, Darren Peterson, their most talented player, I guess I should say, projected number 1 overall pick. He's missed a bunch of games. So that plays into it. But their 3 losses, I can't believe I blanked on the third. They lost to North Carolina, who's a top, 15 team in the country, 17, something like that. They lost to Duke, who's a top 3 team in the country, and UConn, who, when they lost, was 5. They're pretty darn good. Now, NC State has also lost 3 games this year. They've lost to Seton Hall, unranked, Texas, unranked, and Auburn, who is a good team. So their losses are not the same. I don't see a ton of reasons why the sportsbook would have NC State as the favorite. What I will tell you is that in my gambling history, in my gambling experiences, when lines don't make sense to me, that usually means they make sense. Like, the lines that don't make sense to me feel like they're right 100% of the time. Because I always catch at the end going, see, Vegas is good, man. I didn't see that happening. Right? When I feel like the wrong team is favored, or when I think the spread should be close and it's a 9-point spread in a football game, I'm like, that is ridiculous. And then sure enough, you look at the final score and I'm like, wow, 1-10. They were right on top of it. They knew something I didn't. I don't know. So that like this is kind of like anti-analysis. Like normally I go into a game and I'm trying to tell you what I think is going to happen. And this matchup seems like it's going to prove pivotal. And this team, based on these numbers, can't defend the post. And the team they're playing has a really good post scorer. So this is me saying, I don't know why. But the sports book has, and I was on FanDuel, and you can go check whatever sports book you look at, but I tend to shop around. I don't know why they have NC State favored. They are home, which impacts it a little bit. But I'm operating from that standpoint of now I'm looking for reasons that State should be favored, right? I'm trying to figure out what the sports books know that I don't. And then, as any gambler will tell you, one of your first kind of conspiracy theories is, are they ahead on injury news? Right? If a line doesn't make sense to you, so you like on this case, if I were to bet Kansas, because I'm like, well, State's favored? What? Kansas? Bet Kansas. So many times it happens where 3 hours before the game you learn Darren Peterson or, what's the big guy's name? Fiore is Badunga.
Yeah, Fiore Badunga.
He's not playing, or they're dealing with an injury. I don't know what it is, but that's a possibility. Or here's the other possibility. Vegas knows who to trust, right? And certain coaches, certain players get a little bit benefit of the doubt from the sports books where they just go, no. They'll figure it out, and when they do, we'll be ahead of the curve. Perhaps Will Wade is one of those guys where they watched NC State struggle in Maui, and they watched NC State struggle at Auburn, and they watched NC State not be as dominant as they should be against UNC Asheville. And they were just going, nope, Will Wade's going to figure it out. We know he will. We have the numbers to back it up. We have the insight to back it up. He's going to figure it out. He'll crack the code. He'll fix the puzzle of this team, and once he does, we'll be on top of it. And then they watched the Liberty game, and there's a possibility that, which, by the way, they won by 40. They went, yep, there it is. He's got it. He has the answer. He has the tell. Right? And for those of you that have watched Rounders, he figured out the Oreos tell. And if you haven't watched Rounders and you hadn't picked that up, don't worry about it. It's not the most important reference you get. But it's if he figured it out, then they are simply saying NC State is a better team than Kansas, and the world is about to see why. I would add this. I don't think they're a better team than Kansas unless Darian Williams and Paul McNeil start scoring a lot more than they've been in recent games.
It looks like the advanced numbers kind of favor NC State as well. Apparently via Ken Palm Analytics, NC State is about a 1-point favorite, so it's pretty close, but that is kind of reflected in the betting lines. And I'm seeing some other models online that have NC State almost as much as about a 3.5-point favorite. In this matchup as well.
I would love to know what those models are seeing, right? Because again, I'm just watching games. I don't have an equation. I don't have the calculator in front of me. I'm just watching games, and I'm telling you, from watching games, the Kansas with Darren Peterson, right? Darren Peterson is a big difference in this one because he hasn't been there when Kansas hasn't looked very good, and he's a talented player, and I saw him drop 17 in his return a couple days ago. But having watched NC State, if they play like they played in Maui, they're going to get smoked by Kansas. And even if they play the way they played against UNC Asheville, I don't see them being, super competitive with a team like Kansas. Obviously, against Liberty, they look great, but are we changing everything we think about a team, meaning from the sportsbook standpoint, because they beat Liberty by 40? That's the question, right? I've been super high on NC State's talent all year, right? I think, the Triangle has never been more talented, at least not in the last 10, 15 years, has not been more talented as a trio of teams. But to put them as a favorite over a top 20 team, I don't know. I mean, against Auburn was ranked 20th. Kansas is ranked 19th. Auburn never at any point in time looked worried about what NC State was doing to them. But again, I want to know what they're putting in the calculators because maybe that's it. Maybe it's just all advanced analytics. Maybe I don't know what I'm looking at. I've only watched basketball my entire life. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. On the other side of the triangle, UNC, Tar Heels will be hosting South Carolina Upstate. I don't know. I always think that name's kind of funny. There's got to be some good chance from their rivals.
They think they're New York,
South Carolina, upstate. I don't know. It seems,
I think it's just because you can't say North South Carolina. That actually makes a lot of sense.
That would be hilarious.
I think that might be the reason
Northern South
why.
Carolina.
Yeah, I go to North South Carolina University.
And UNSC would be hilarious. University of North South Carolina. Anyway, here's the way I look at it for UNC. UNC's front court is exceptional. Caleb Wilson, very good. Henry Vasar, exceptionally pleasantly surprising this year. You knew there were certain things he could do from a talent standpoint. You knew there were certain things he could do with his size and his ability. He has impressed and pleasantly surprised me in many ways. I think he might be playing his way into like a potential first-round draft pick style season, maybe late first. The backcourt is still, I wouldn't say bad or concerning by any stretch. It's question mark, right? I think Derek Dixon growing as a freshman point guard potentially unlocks a different side of them, right? Potentially unlocks more of a Luka Bogovic there, who got eligible or cleared, whatever, right before the season wing. Potentially takes responsibilities off the plate of Seth Trimble if and when he can return from his injury. Potentially allows Kyan Evans to focus on being a knockdown shooter, which is what I believe or what everybody told me they were most excited about in his game when he signed out of the transfer portal with UNC. So Derek Dixon is maybe under a bit of a microscope for this one. There's quite a bit of intrigue in the backcourt, which is, I think, kind of exciting. Right? Because UNC has played very, very well. Okay, they've gotten some wins. They had the one kind of clunker of a loss against Michigan State, but that's probably aging pretty well, right? Michigan State's a good team.
Very good team.
So they're playing well, and it's. I'll phrase this because Max, because you're a golf guy. If you shoot 2 under, and you can't control your driver, that's much better than shooting 2 under and striping your driver. You know what I mean? Like, because then if I ever get this driver under control, that's 7 under, right? I gave up 3 strokes on the front just by, slicing the driver, right? So right now, UNC is a really good team. And I still think they can figure out their backcourt. That's a club in their bag that they haven't quite ironed out. So there's still room for improvement there. They are, I think, the 14th team in the country, and obvious ways they can get better if their backcourt just settles to what they, gets in the rotation of what they're going to be throughout the year. And Derek Dixon could be a big part of that. And if he is, I think that's really exciting for UNC. And when Seth Trimble comes back and you mix him in, really exciting for UNC. And you can work on that in games like this one against UNC Upstate, North South Carolina, as I'm going to call them.
I did a little research, used to be University of South Carolina at Spartanburg, and then I think in 2004 they renamed to USC Upstate. But South Carolina was never on the table.
Why would you do away with Spartanburg? Are they the Spartans by any chance? Because they are. They're the Spartans.
Yeah, Spartanburg Spartans.
Why would you take? They were
Spartans.
South Carolina Spartanburg Spartans, and they got rid of the Spartanburg and kept Spartans. What are we doing?
They changed the name to better reflect its mission to educate the people of South Carolina's upstate region.
We'll have to figure out that later, but I don't like the way it's going. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Actually, I really don't care what it's called. Green U is their logo. That's what you need to know. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Actually, what you really need to know is it's time for CanesMas. Merry CanesMas, everybody. 10 days of CanesMas. We are in day number 5. And CanesMas is presented by Hardee's. Cozy up to the goodness of Hardee's new grilled cheese, bacon burger, and breakfast sandwich, and Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times rolling. Good times going is what it says, but I like saying rolling. We need caller number 10. I have the magical red hat of gifts in front of me. I will pull a slip out with a prize written on it for one of you. It's Canes prize. Could be a Canes signed puck. Very exciting names that have signed the puck. Could be a Canes grilling set. Could be penny hockey. Could be there's a lot of really Bluetooth speaker. There's a lot of really cool prizes in this magical red hat. But if you want to win, you got to call in now. 919-860-5326. If you want to celebrate CanesMas with us, caller number 10 gets a gift. 919-860-5326. CanesMas coming up.
Move your sports day forward.
You know the story of A Christmas Carol, the ghosts of past, present, and yet to come. We can tie it a bit to the Panthers season, the past, innocence by fans, big expectations, new faces, the present, a roller coaster ride of Bryce is our guy, or maybe not. Only the yet to come could be different than the Christmas tale. Unlike Scrooge, we actually care about December games.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Tim, I'm receiving an important update.
Ooh, are you getting night vision?
No, I just found out you could get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender.
So, no night vision?
No night vision.
Learn more at NavyFederal.org/autoloans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loan must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking to lose weight in the new year? Well, why wait to the new year? Well, you can start on that right now. Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center for just over 4 months, and I've lost 42 pounds, but most importantly, I've maintained the weight that I've lost. No surgeries, no shots, no injections, no steroids, just resetting your metabolism. That way your body can do the natural thing. But why wait to the new year to get started on the program where you can take advantage of their 20% off deal going on right now? Now, all the way through December 19th, use the promo code LOSEIT with Raleigh Weight Loss Center and save 20% on their program. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is right for you. 919-897-7506 or RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20% and start losing weight today. Results may vary.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like a Koya Pearl stud starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Merry CanesMas to one, Merry CanesMas to all. Merry CanesMas to caller number 10, Merrick in Durham. Merrick, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I absolutely can. You are one step away from enjoying a CanesMas gift. By the way, the 10 days of CanesMas are presented by Hardee's. Get the Hardee's app and join My Rewards right now and get hand-breaded chicken tenders BOGO every Tuesday through June 2026. You can also thank for presenting CanesMas. Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Merrick and Durham, you are one step away from getting a CanesMas gift. You just have to answer this Canes trivia question correctly. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Can you name a Carolina Hurricanes current player?
Seth Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis is a Carolina Hurricanes current player. That is a correct answer, and that entitles you to one prize out of the magical red hat I have. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can confirm I am not looking. I am not cheating. I am reaching into the bag. I feel the slips of paper. Two are stuck together. There you go. I've got one. Merrick, are you ready to hear your present?
Absolutely.
Canes Bluetooth speaker. Congratulations.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And more importantly, Merry CanesMas to you.
Merry CanesMas to you guys.
All right. Have a wonderful holiday and stay on the line so Max can grab the info to make sure you get your Canes Bluetooth speaker. We almost had to break one of there's a couple of Canes Bluetooth speakers in the CanesMas gifts little pool that you can win. We almost had to break one out around the office the other day. We were doing some holiday like in-office festivities, and the irony is, right, we're a radio company, and where we were having the festivities, there was no speakers. There were no ways to get music there, and we wanted some festive holiday music. So they almost broke out the Canes Bluetooth speakers before we went, no, actually, we have a closet full of audio equipment. Let's just go grab one of our own speakers. But for a moment, we were going to break one of these out because they look like so much fun to have hanging around and so much fun to have playing that we almost used them. But instead, it'll go to Merrick in Durham. Congratulations. It's not even congratulations. You hope you enjoy it. Right? Just a gift around the holiday season. Merry CanesMas to you all. Now, earlier today, we did talk about Joel Nystrom, the young, youthful defenseman for the Carolina Hurricanes. He has signed a contract extension, for those of you that are just tuning in. It is $1.225 million per year over 4 years, which is just a really cool thing for both player and team. A young guy that's earned more opportunity is now in kind of embedded himself with a pretty impressive franchise for the foreseeable future, and just keeps adding to what I believe will be another contract that ages well. As the cap continues to go up, these Canes contracts just keep looking super duper solid. The question. This is not even an exaggeration of a question, by the way. Brandon Bussi's having a really strong little run here, right? He's the first NHL goalie in history to have 10 wins in his first 11 appearances. I tweeted about that yesterday, as everybody that covers the team or is a fan of the team or talks about the team, or heck, even if you're a fan of the NHL, there's a good chance you were tweeting about Brandon Bussi last night. And one of the most common responses I got was, when is the contract extension going to be drawn up? When are they going to extend Bussi? And I know it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it probably was also a bit not tongue-in-cheek. You know what I mean? It was probably a bit 100% serious. There are quite a bit of reasons why, as soon as you know, like the moment you are confident in a player having proven themselves at a certain level, that's usually the cheapest they're ever going to be. You know what I mean? So Nystrom signing now, it's good for Nystrom because, right, almost $5 million over 4 years is, that's stabilizing financial security that not many of us will ever feel. But also for the team, right, if Slavin misses more time than you think, or if somebody else gets hurt and he has to play even more minutes and is, if he goes on a hot goal-scoring streak or something, that price may have just continued to go up. At $1.225 million, per year, I really don't think it could have gone down. So it's good business, right? It's good business. As soon as you know, sign him. Thus the Brandon Bussi question, right? It's one of those jokes that's only a joke until it becomes real. Like, haha, so when are they going to start working on that Bussi contract? Haha, no, seriously, do you think they thought about it? No, What do you think he would accept right now if we put it in front of him? Like, you go from like big chuckles to like by the end you're just going like, no, seriously, what could we make this happen now? Because right now you could tell his agent it's still just a hot start and but if he does this for 15, 20 more games, all of a sudden we're just paying a top goalie and there's probably going to be a higher price on that. So it's like, well, when did you stop laughing? When did this stop being a joke and just become real?
Just got real serious.
Like, there's a lot, I'll say this. And this is where I like to think, in most things, I don't think like the stereotypical fan. Like, I don't react just as fanatical. I like to think I can keep a calm head. There's one particular part of watching sports or covering sports that I admittedly 100% am a fan, in that I think I could be a pretty good GM. I know, like, factually, like, it's a ridiculously hard thing to do, and people that have gone their entire life training to do it still can't do a great job of it. But I do think I could, particularly in football, because it's what I played. But I think if you gave me enough time, I could make it work. My logical brain understands that's probably not true, but I can't help what my brain, like what my emotions, my subconscious thinks. One thing I would have a really hard time with is exactly where you're at with Brandon Bussi. I don't even, do you approach him with a contract right now? Do you call his agent and even run something up the flagpole? Do you, and if you do, what number do you attach to it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where I heard this, but I felt like I had heard, and maybe it was from Adam Gold too, that I don't know if he's eligible to sign an extension until January.
Oh, I would love that even more.
Well, January is coming soon, but I think they're certainly interested, and I'm sure Eric Tulsky leaves no stone unturned, and he typically sees things ahead of time pretty well. So I have to imagine there have already been a good few conversations about, well, how do we want to approach this? What kind of value is he looking at? Do we want to sign it earlier to try to get it at a good number, or is that too much of a risk that this is maybe a hot start that could fizzle out? Is the defense doing something for him? But then again, he's doing all these great performances without Jacob Slavin even in the decor in front of him. So I'm sure that that's something that they're having a discussion on internally, and if we know anything about Tulsky, he likes to get those things done ahead of time so he can lock in that good value, as we just saw today. So I think I would wager that Brandon Bussi will be signed beyond this year by the end of this season.
I'm not even going to disagree with that because I don't know. But what I would struggle with is what number do you put on Brandon Bussi?
That's goaltender value is and typically they are valued a little bit under skaters, I think, in general, other than the top, yes, like obviously. The Shesterkins that get 11, or Bobrovsky, and it kind of paid off for them in the end, but the $10 million AAV he signed seemed a little rich at the beginning, but again, clearly has worked out for Florida. So it's so hard to say, especially with the cap spike too. It makes it really hard to contextualize what AAVs would work, especially for goaltenders. But I think, playing at the level he's playing right now, you're not getting him at an AAV that's under I guess it depends on the term as well, but you wouldn't see an AAV under $4 or $5 million at the very least.
Which that logically makes sense to me, but also he's played 11 games.
Exactly. That's what makes it so much more difficult too at this point. I think Logan Thompson,
if you told me I won't pay him more than 1.5, he's played 11 games, I would go, all right, there's some sense there. If you told me there's no way he's worth anything less than what you just said, 4 or 5, I would go, well, he's playing pretty lights out. That does his entire resume in the NHL is pretty impressive. It's short, but there's not a lot of blemishes on there.
If you want to talk about a goaltender that just signed an extension, is kind of similar-ish, similar age, similar performance. So he's played really well this year. Is Logan Thompson. Well, heading into this season, or it was in the latter half of last season, he signed a 6-year extension worth $35 million. It was $5.85 million per. So that's around the same value I think you'd expect an extension to be. Now, Eric Tulsky and that crew is good at assigning a value to these players and, not going over that when they sign contracts. So it all depends on the negotiation. If there's a lot of things that have to play out.
I was going to say the big if is, I don't think he's getting if I'm going to pay him $5 point something million a year, I'm waiting until significantly into the future, and I'm making sure he does, because I don't think the price is going to go way above $5-point-something million a year if he plays well for a good amount of time.
I think that's the market value for a solid number one goaltender. Not top of the league, all-star elite or anything, but it's also not like spot starting tandem level.
I don't know. Like I said, I think I could be a good GM until like the really hard decisions happen, and then I go, I don't know what I would do.
You don't want to get caught with your pants down in one where
Yes.
it's like Jack Campbell in Edmonton, where they gave him like a 5v5 or 5x5, and then he was getting sent down to the AHL, I think, either in that first or second season of that contract.
Eric Tulsky and the Carolina Hurricanes have done such a good job with so many of these contracts. The Jarvis contract looks unbelievable. I think both the Blake and the Stankoven contracts are going to age great. The Jacob Slavin contract, value-wise, bananas. You don't want to take all of this surplus money that you have under the cap the next few years and just give away that advantage by burning it on a player who, ends up not being what you thought they were.
Which they typically have not done.
So I'm very trusting of what the front office has done so far. So I'm very trusting about what they're going to do. I'm fascinated by a player like Brandon Bussi, who shows up and looks great, but I mean, 11. Here's where I stand. 11 games is a big enough sample size for us to get very excited about him as a goalie. I don't know if 11 games is a big enough sample size for me to be writing gigantic checks. I'm somewhere in between those 2 points on what the 11-game sample size is.
I don't think they'll be signing any of those checks for at least a couple of months anyway. I think they want to see how things play out as well. My guess is probably towards the end of the year, but also they probably want to get the guy locked up if he continues playing like he's been playing.
And I was going to say, both of those things are true as well. I understand that if he plays if you are sure he's going to keep playing well, he'll never be cheaper than he is right now or as soon as he's eligible to sign. But at the same time, it's hard to be that sure right now or as soon as he's eligible to sign. Very difficult situation. Joel Nyström, 4 years, $1.225 million. I believe that's a good bit of business. And congratulations to Merrick in Durham, who won our CanesMas prize, our CanesMas gift for the day. You can also celebrate CanesMas with us because it's 10 days of CanesMas, and we just finished the first 5. On Monday, we will have more CanesMas. There's still gifts in my magical red hat for you to draw and potentially bring home this holiday season. Thank you once again to Hardee's. Cozy up to the goodness of Hardee's. New grilled cheese, bacon burger, and breakfast sandwich, as well as Surfside vodka. Whether you're watching hockey, warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Merry CanesMas to you all, and to the starting 5 up next.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal. I should remind you, the goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
This is the sound of Claire cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
At the Dugout Tavern and Grill's annual Cheers for Children party, we ring in the holidays and dig deep to help the kids at WakeMed Children's Hospital. And we want you to come join the festivities at the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex Thursday, December 18th, starting at 6 for Christmas cocktails, seasonal brews, and an ugly sweater contest. Donate money or items to help the kids at WakeMed Children's and get entered into our raffle for big ticket prizes drawn at 7:30. And stock up on holiday gift cards that everyone loves. Details at the DugoutTavern.com.
Hi, this is Millie, and guess what? My mom works at the coolest place ever, Roofworks. You know how Santa lands on your roof? Well, he loves our clients' houses because Roofworks keeps their roofs super strong and ready for reindeer landings. Remember, that's landings, not droppings, Rudolph. If you want your home to be cozy, safe, and totally Santa approved this holiday season, tell every grown-up to call RoofWorks so they can treat you like family too. Happy holidays from me and all the elves at RoofWorks.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. Kind of fun to see a little bit of snow out there today. We should be dry for the evening commute. It's partly cloudy and cold tonight. We'll dip down to around 29. Try to get outside. Saturday should be a gorgeous afternoon, mostly sunny with a high of 58.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money at the closing bell. Dow Jones finished down 245 points to 48,458. Market update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at your holiday events to lift your spirits this season. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is 5 o'clock on a Friday. Congratulations, everybody. You made it. Thank you for starting the weekend with us. And we'll start with the starting five, starting at number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So earlier today, we talked about the UNC Tar Heels have started their football adjustments for next year. Freddie Kitchens, offensive coordinator, will not be returning. Neither will their special teams coordinator. So Bill Belichick making some changes there. We talked about it. You can go find that conversation on our YouTube live stream when you rewind, on podcasts, all that kind of stuff. There's also some college football news coming out of NC State. Or maybe at least the first part out of elsewhere at NC State that impacts NC State. Kyle Whittingham, the head coach at Utah, has announced that he will be retiring after this year. He will coach in the bowl game for Utah, and then he will, move on with his life. But with that, Dave Doeren now becomes the 4th longest tenured coach in football bowl subdivision in the FBS, behind only Ferentz at Iowa, Calhoun at Air Force, and Dabo at Clemson. That's how long Dave Doeren's been around. And that's how quickly the world changes in college football. He is the 4th longest tenured coach in college football now. And he's still hunting that first 10-win season at NC State. Just puts it all kind of in perspective. And will he have C.J. Bailey as his quarterback moving forward becomes the question. C.J. Bailey was asked by the media this week about just that, right? Has he thought about his future? And they still have the bowl coming up, and they still have, this season to finish. And I'll paraphrase, but what C.J. Bailey said was, I'm going to talk it over with my family, right? I'm gonna go home after the season, and I'm going to talk to the people I care about, and we'll figure out what's best for me moving forward, which is, I'm sure State fans going like, oh, no, he didn't, say, I bleed Wolfpack red, and I'm never going to leave. I'm going to give you a counterpoint on that. Quarterback's supposed to be the CEO of your franchise, right? He's supposed to be the mouthpiece of your organization. He's supposed to be the leader. He's supposed to be the great decision maker, the best of this, the most professional of that, right? I want him to take his time with a decision like that, right? I want somebody to treat big decisions as if they are big decisions. Even if he is, like, in his mind, die hard, I'm never leaving NC State. That used to just be a decision on, like, where you're going to go to math class next year. Now it's a decision that could mean $5 million. I'm not sure it's the smartest thing in the world to make a $5 million decision when you're emotional. So if you're inherently making emotional $5 million decisions, that might not be who you want as your quarterback. You want a smart, thoughtful, taking everything into account player as your quarterback, so you want him to take time. The only bad response to that question is, no, I'm gone. I'm going to think it over with my family. I'm going to talk about it with the people I care about and trust. And once the season is over, we're going to let things cool down for a little bit. That's just good business. That's just good business. And maybe a little, little notification, fundraise a little bit, up that offer, but that's just what that's what the sport is about now. Can you imagine? Maybe a $3 million offer when you're 20, 21 years old.
Would be nice.
I'd want to call my parents.
Yeah.
I'd want to, I don't even, like, other than my parents, I don't know who I'd call, but I'd want to talk to people. Like, I want to get on the phone with a money manager of some kind. I don't know. I'd have no idea what to do in that situation. It'd be weird to make that decision quickly. Not to mention, right, you got to talk to everybody else. Imagine if he said, I'm not leaving, I'm staying 100%, and then he finds out, like, all of his best receivers and offensive linemen are leaving. And he'd be like, well, with further information, I'd like to go back on what I said earlier. Then you're setting yourself up. Got to figure it out. That is number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
They find him one-on-one with Kehoe. He kicks it out to Bogavats, open for 3. Hey. Nothing but net.
North Carolina men's basketball hosting South Carolina Upstate, a.k.a. North South Carolina, on Saturday at 2 p.m. That's not what they call themselves. That's what we've called them today.
USC Spartanburg, formerly known.
Yeah, Spartanburg. The USC Upstate Spartans. I mean, what? That's like Philadelphia saying no, or the Phillies saying, no, we're not from Philly. We're from Reading. We're the Reading Phillies, which I think was their minor league for a while. We're from Harrisburg. We're the Harrisburg Phillies. Your name is the Phillies. Your name is the Spartans because you're in Spartanburg, but you gave up Spartanburg for Upstate. Either way, UNC is hosting them men's basketball. UNC, I said this earlier, it's kind of funny to watch everybody else go from treating them as something else to treating them like UNC again. At the beginning of the year, Caleb Wilson kind of burst onto the scene, right? And he was dunking on everybody, and he had like a bejeweled belt of some kind, and he was holding it on the slam cover.
He got the fans to do a whiteout just because he kind of felt like it.
The Kansas game, he just said like, "Hey, whiteout on Monday," and the school was like, "No, it's not," and the fans went, "I don't think you've understood. Caleb Wilson said, is it a whiteout on Monday? Your opinion doesn't matter." To like the people that throw the whiteout. And everybody thought it was hilarious. And it was for 3 weeks. I'll give them 3 weeks. UNC was kind of like America's scrappy upstart. Because they were the blue blood that last year barely made the tournament, and who knows if they have it going, and for whatever reason, and I said this before the season, this is not 2020 hindsight, this is I was foresight at the time. I could not understand why Caleb Wilson was not being mentioned with the Boozers and the DeBonsas and the Petersons all the way at the top of draft boards and National Players of the Year watches and everything. But for whatever reason, he wasn't. So he felt like this coming out of nowhere player. And UNC was like, I always say there's a team in every sport each season where if your team isn't playing, you're rooting for them, right? They're like everybody's second favorite team, right? This year, like the NFL, it kind of feels this year like Seattle, where everybody's like, I'm a Packers fan, but if they're not playing, I like Seattle. I'm a Chiefs fan, but since they're not doing great, Seattle's kind of cool. Like Jackson Smith and Jigba just has like a cool vibe, right? I don't know. UNC was that for 3 weeks. Already everyone's like, nope, they're Carolina again. They're the Tar Heels. They have national championships. They're a blue blood. They deserve to be ridiculed and nitpicked. Their big men, Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar, are really gosh darn good. For 3 weeks, you could say Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar are amongst the best bigs in the country. They might be the best duo in the country. And people would just go, yeah. Now they go, well, if you look at advanced analytics, that they're not quite as good as blah, 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 blah. If you look at true shooting percentage at the rim, Koa Pete is da-da-da-da-da-da. And everyone's got a rebuttal. Which, by the way, is how North Carolina has been treated almost my entire life. Right? The moment you bring up, Joe Forte is pretty good. There was somebody else going, you heard of William Avery at Duke? Or have you heard of Gardner at Arizona? Or Bibby at this place? And it was just like, okay, never mind. I see what we're doing here. So welcome UNC. You're back to the where you should be, by the way, which is a top 15 club in the country, and everybody is trying to knock you down. Target on your back. Way to go. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
6:40, 2.5 minutes since halftime, packed down 6.
NC State taking on.
That's part of that highlight.
Yeah. They're just announcing that they're down 6. NC State this weekend is hosting Kansas. 5:30 on Saturday, 5:30 p.m. First of all, Kansas completing the triangle trio. NC State trying to make it a triangle sweep of Kansas. UNC beat them early in the year. Duke beat them as well. Sans Darren Peterson. I think was that a Madison Square Garden game? May have been. Don't quote me on that, though. Now NC State at home gets Kansas, and Peterson is expected to play. This is credit to the ACC when I say this. It is not a must-win game for NC State. Last year, this would have been a must-win game for NC State because there wouldn't have been enough quad one and big games on the conference schedule for them to make up not having kind of those big resume-building wins in the non-conference, so they would have had to have won this one to build up their resume. But this year, the ACC is better. They've done better in their non-conference schedule, so it's not a must-win. But do you know what it is? It's kind of a must-win.
It's a huge game.
It's not a must-win, but it kind of is. And the reason why it's not a must-win is because they do have many more kind of trophy fish games later on that they can change their season on, right? Those potentially big games that could turn everything. But the reason it feels like a must-win is because of what was promised. Because of the Will Wade blustered in the opening press conferences. Because of the Will Wade speech before the UNC Asheville game. Because of how they reacted against Liberty. Like the pressure they've put on themselves makes this game, like if it's a 15-point loss, it really, you start to become the boy who cried wolf. You keep telling us you're this. You keep telling us you're going to fix this. You keep telling us your energy is going to go up. You keep telling us you're going to be a competitor this year. You keep telling us it's not a rebuild, and yet you lose to Seton Hall, and you don't look great against UNC Asheville.
Yeah.
And you lost to Auburn, and then you come out and say you were so bad in practice, you've never been less confident going into a game like you were against Auburn. And it's like at some point, all of these things you're telling us have to get fixed, or else we're just not working.
Yeah. If they lose tomorrow in fairly convincing fashion, then you're really starting to sweat. There are a good few quad one opportunities in conference play, like as of right now, and this obviously will change over the course of the season. But as of right now, there's a stretch at the end of January through the start of March where they're going to play 8 Quad 1 games in 9 opportunities. Now, it counts on all those teams kind of holding up their end of the bargain for another month and a half, so don't take that as gospel. But in terms of the non-conference, like, this is your last chance to pick up like a really good win. Now, like Boise State and VCU, those are okay. Like, they're in the 40s and 50s of net. Those will probably end up being Quad 2 wins at the end of the year. The rest of your non-conference slate, like the best game after this is that game in Greensboro against Ole Miss, which is next Sunday on the 21st. They're outside the top 100 in net right now. So it's looking like that is either going to be a win that doesn't do much for your resume, or if that's a loss, that can be really detrimental to your case, come March. So it's a big game. Even if they lose again, like, there are plenty of opportunities, or there should be, in conference play, but it would be really nice to pick up that resume builder now rather than count on yourself with even smaller margin once ACC play starts.
Which is, again, credit to the ACC that it's not a must-win. I think more for general, like, I hate using this term, aura. It kind of is. But the ACC is good enough that you have other big Quad 1 opportunities in conference.
It's big for the reputation of the conference, I will agree. If they want the atmosphere to be rocking, and they want NC State to show off some of the talk they were talking in the build-up to preseason and earlier this year.
That is number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. Intercepted by Chatfield, and the Canes are going to come back the other way. Hustling in, trying to get it across for Blake. Second opportunity, they score! Logan Stankoven. It had been 14 games without a goal, but a huge marker here. And 22 ties it at 2.
So the Canes won last night in overtime in the shootout against Washington on the road. This weekend, which, by the way, all of the Canes games you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan. So right here on the radio, you're all good. You can also listen on our 99.9 The Fan app. So you can take us with you in your pocket, walking the dog, doing a workout, whatever, cleaning the garage, whatever you have planned for the weekend, making some cookies. If you're doing the holiday cookie thing, you can listen right here on 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. on the road at Philly. Sunday, 5 p.m. home against Philly. Little Philly. Little Philly special.
Little Carolina doubleheader there. Of course, the Panthers are playing at 4:25 on Sunday when the Canes also play at 5 o'clock.
2 screens. That's the only way to solve it.
Well, if you're in the building, it's going to be a little bit harder.
If you're in the building, then which building are you going to be in?
Not the Superdome.
True.
Lenovo Center.
That was a bad question. Yeah, then you're going to have to
I'm going to have
mix
to
101.5, right?
I'm going to have to get creative.
You can get get a old radio. Listen to both. Be the person sitting there with you're not sitting. Anyway, you're a unique situation.
I'm going to get a hidden earpiece with the radio, Mix 101.5 radio broadcast.
Now you're talking.
If you're my boss at the Canes. No, I didn't say that.
First of all, if you work in sports, you can't be mad that your employees are sports fans, right? It's always funny to me. Not funny, but it's a bit I do with my friends, right? Like the first 2 days of the NCAA tournament, or when there's matinee games of some kind, and my friends are all like, oh, you gotta sneak the extra screen at work. I'm like, not me.
No, our job is to watch. The
I
screen.
work in sports. They want me watching. They find the screens for me. And if you work like for a hockey team and say, oh, they also support the local football team, then no, they should be helping you. You should have the jumbotron on the game. We didn't talk enough about this earlier, and we need to, because Brandon Bussi's a great story. The Joel Nystrom contract extension took up some of our Canes talk today. But they are definitely not the only 2 stories going on. Did anybody need that goal more than Logan Stankoven last night? Like, the Canes needed that goal in the game, right? Because it was the tied-up game, and it changed the course of the game, and it helped them get the win, and it was wildly important. But goodness, did Logan Stankoven need that goal. Just to end all of the, he can't center that line, he hasn't scored, and what would end up being like 14 games, something like that? People started talking about it at 9. That's when I first started hearing all of it's been 9 games, it's been 9 games. I think Logan Stankoven still has a good chance of working out as a second-line center. I know some people are already completely out on him, but there's going to be growing pains. He's a what is he listed at, 5'8"? He's a 5'8" winger transitioning to play center on a second line of a really good team that gets everybody's best effort every single game. There's going to be growing pains.
Yeah. And every other aspect of his game other than faceoffs, I think, is pretty solid. And, again, it's a winger getting transitioned into a new role. You can't expect him to immediately come in and light it up and be snapping back draws like Jordan Stahl immediately. So I don't really hold that against him. I think every other aspect of his game has been pretty good.
And on top of that, he's in the same locker room as Rod Brindamore and Jordan Stahl, and all reports are that he's knocking on doors saying, let's work. How can I get better? What do I need to fix? Let's watch the film. Let's work. Give him time. But he does need to score a goal like that every now and then just to keep the Wolves away from the door. Right?
He sniped it, man. It's just like Game 1. They had a game. I went up there in the playoffs last year in the second round, and he scored the only goal in regulation for the Canes. Very similar goal. Similar spot. Sniped it top corner. Perfect placement. I was getting flashbacks.
Those are just keep quiet goals. Just look at all the haters and just keep quiet. And then also it, in a lot of ways, won you a game last night, right? Got you 2 points, which is just a massive development for the Canes in a race atop the Metro. We didn't talk about this enough. Jordan Martinook dropped the gloves. He wears the A for a reason, you know what I mean? I think that was also a spark. I think there was, maybe some defending of some guys like Blake and some guys that were taking some aggressive hits. But, I don't know what I'd grade the fight. We don't necessarily have to do that for old Party Marty. But there's a leadership thing there that was necessary, and again, I think contributed to the win. And then last point before we move on, I think we need to make sure Jarvis develops some counters on the shootout, because he's got one move. Again, talking about the behind the storm video. The game they were showing was the shootout wherever it was, 6 weeks ago. Exact same move.
Colorado.
Yeah, exact same move. So goalies are going to have that one on tape now, Jarvis.
It's like Jacob Slavin used to have a signature move. It was a nice little forehand fake into a backhand top shelf, but had to stop going to it because I think they started adjusting for it.
No offense, but let's hope Seth Jarvis isn't aiming for the offensive skill set of Jacob Slavin. I'm as big a Slavin fan as anybody.
He was a guy who had a signature shootout move that worked pretty well for a while before people started adjusting to it.
I want to see him get the signature shootout move of old Kuzi. I want to see the
crawl.
Go! 17 seconds. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. We don't have much time for this one, so we'll keep it brief. Panthers-Saints Sunday, I believe it's at 4:25, as you just mentioned. So it's not a 1 o'clock slate game, which is kind of nice. This game could be 50% of the way to the Carolina Panthers playing in the postseason. There's 3 games in division from this point forward. 4 games total. The one that I don't want to say doesn't matter, but that's the Seahawks. You play the Saints and you play the Bucks twice. If you win 2 of those, postseason. If you win 2 of those, you're playing more football. Of those 3, I know the Bucks didn't look great last night and they've been collapsing at times. I still think the easiest win is the Saints. So I know you botched it earlier this year, but if you want to have the path of least resistance to the postseason, the first thing you got to do is beat the Saints. Use Thursday night, use last night as an example. Do not take anybody lightly. The Bucks let the Falcons hang around, and then the Falcons won the game. They're playing for nothing but fun, and Bijan Robinson's going for statistics, pretty obviously. Kyle Pitts had the game of his life, and the Falcons got the win, and because of that, the Bucks' path to the postseason is more difficult. The Saints can eat up your lead. If you lose to the Saints, suddenly you're right where the Bucks are. You're equally as frustrating as what the Bucks did last night. So lock in. Don't let Tyler Shuck get going. I don't think he's anything like unbelievable, but he's proven to be good enough that if you let him get into a rhythm, he'll bite you. Right? And he's a little like, I hate all these cliches. A little bit more athletic than you think. A little bit stronger arm than you think. A little bit he's streaky. But he's got something to him. So don't let him hang around. I saw that Alvin Kamara's been ruled out, which means you're going to get Devin Neal, the rookie, in healthy doses. Again, I don't think there's a ton to him. He kind of runs with super small strides, takes him like 14 steps to get 10 yards. But in the open field, it doesn't matter how many steps it takes him to get 10 yards, right? You got to just stick to your game. I think the Panthers are the better team, but I think they were the better team when the Saints beat them a couple weeks ago. So learn from your mistakes, then learn from the Bucs' mistakes last night, take care of business, and you're one win away from the postseason. That's number one. Now let's grab some contestants for the numbers game. We have a $25 Autobell Car Wash gift card to give to the winner of the numbers game today. If you want to win the numbers game and win the card, call in now. We need two contestants. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
When the Eagles' offense looks wrong is when they're right. Every complaint was correct based on the way the offense looked. But that's how they win. When they looked wrong, they were right. Now, when they're trying to look right, they go wrong. Every time the offense looks bad, previously, is when they have actually won games.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Coach, I look at people on Instagram and TikTok and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, man, they must have it made. And I look at like fit bodies and people living in big houses, but I think to myself, no, they have discipline, and that's the difference, and that's what they've saved for, and that's what we need to have right now if we want to retire with some money in the bank.
They have discipline or a good editor.
Yeah.
People can make themselves look a lot better online, and you're never going to post bad things.
Amen.
So I tell my daughter, don't judge your life against what you see online because you're only getting a quarter of the story. If you're happy within and you have a good plan, really doesn't matter what the Joneses are up to, does it?
Amen.
So we don't need to keep up with anybody. We need to make sure that we're keeping up with our trends and what we want to have in retirement. If you want to retire, let's put together a retirement plan. And let me give you my book, The Big Book on Retirement. So if you call now, we'll give you a no cost or no obligation total retirement plan and my book, The Big Book on Retirement.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Are you looking for great holiday gift ideas? Head to Global Golf for the holiday sidewalk sale this Friday and Saturday. Find drivers starting at $50, putters starting at $25, bags starting at $50, shirts starting at $15, and great savings on GPS watches and rangefinders. Plus, receive a free gift with purchase of $100 or more. Head to Global Golf, located in North Raleigh, 7320 ACC Boulevard, for the holiday sidewalk sale this Friday and Saturday, December 12th and 13th.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. And as always, here on Here on The Drive, when we play the numbers game, we have 2 contestants. We'll bring each of them onto the show, ask them the same question, and our producer, who for today is Max, he'll be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. The prize for today is a $25 gift card to Autobell Car Wash, and the contestants are Evan in Fuquay and Chris in Youngsville. We'll start with Evan. Evan, are you there?
Yes.
All right, perfect. The question for today, as it so often is on Fridays, is we are on the doorstep of the weekend. What are you most looking forward to about this weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
I've been on the playoff simulator for weeks now, so I'm putting all my emotional eggs in one basket for the Panthers-Saints game leading into next week. So it's the Panthers-Saints game. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Panthers-Saints. Any follow-up questions there, Max? Nope, we are good to go. We'll go to Chris in Youngsville. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, same question to you. We are knocking on the door of the weekend. So what is your what is the thing you are looking forward to most about this weekend? But because we're a sports show, make sure it relates to sports somehow.
Yeah, big fan of the Army-Navy game. Go Army.
All right, go Army. Beat Navy, that's the side you're on. Is there a reason for that?
Military brat, Army brat, and Army's the best.
All right. I just it was more just me being curious. That was not a follow-up from our judge, Max. Max, the options are Panthers-Saints game with playoff implications or Army-Navy, and he did emphasize go Army.
I am also looking forward to the Panthers game on Sunday, but I have a buddy who went to West Point who just graduated, and I'm looking forward to Army-Navy as well. So we'll let Chris go first today.
My parents are going to be in attendance for Army-Navy.
Hopefully they've brought some layers.
They're from Florida too, so let's just say the cold will be a jarring experience for them. Either way, so Chris in Youngsville will get to go first. Evan in Fuquay, don't worry, you will have your chance. Just have to stay on hold for a minute or two. Let's go ahead and bring Chris on. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. Are you ready to pick a category?
I'm ready.
All right, the categories are NFL players whose names would score big scores in Scrabble, NFL players who were born in mid-December, NBA players that were born south of the equator, that's NBA players that were born south of the equator, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
NFL mid-December birthdays.
Okay. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Ready to roll.
All right. Your time will start and hear the horn. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders.
2.
Incorrect. Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders.
88.
Incorrect. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders.
Pass.
Reggie White, Carolina Panthers.
90.
Incorrect. Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders.
81.
Incorrect. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders.
2.
Incorrect. Reggie White, Carolina Panthers.
92.
Correct. David Johnson, Arizona Cardinals.
22.
Incorrect. Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders.
81.
Incorrect.
I was trying to get back to David Johnson.
You were in the right vicinity for them all, so there were no egregious misses. You just weren't quite getting there. Jaden Daniels, I know you really wanted it to be number 2. It was number 5. Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers 89. You got Reggie White with 92, and you said you were trying to get back to David Johnson. What'd you think it was?
The 21.
31. So.
31.
You were, again, right vicinity, just not quite on the number. You did get one, though, so you avoided the shutout. We'll see if it's enough. Go ahead and stay on hold, and we'll see. That brings us to Evan in Fuquay. Evan, are you there?
Yes.
Perfect. The categories remaining that you get to choose from are NFL players whose names would score big scores in Scrabble, NBA players that were born south of the equator, or NHL players, Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's go NFL Scrabble.
Okay. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 2 for the victory, but keep going all the way because perfect scores get you extra perks. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Quentin Johnston, Los Angeles Chargers.
11.
Incorrect. Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers.
19.
Incorrect. Quentin Johnson, Los Angeles Chargers.
1.
Correct. Zach Bond, Philadelphia Eagles.
58.
Incorrect. Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers.
13.
Incorrect. Zach Bond, Philadelphia Eagles.
57.
Incorrect. Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers.
Pass.
You got one, which is a tie technically, but tiebreaker goes to whoever goes first, so kind of a brutal beat for you. That one is going to be a loss for you, but hopefully you had some fun.
I did.
All right, thank you. And try again. For those of you playing at home, Quentin Johnston, number 1, Brandon Ayuk, number 11, and Zach Bond, number 53 is what we were looking for. But that means that the winner is Chris in Youngsville. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You get a $25 Autobell car wash gift card. Just stay on the line so Max will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
Sounds good. Go Army.
Go Army. I think I'm on the Navy side. I played against Navy when I was in college. Played there a few times. They were always very cordial, but obviously big fan of both institutions, both academies, I should say, as they battle out. It's got to be a really cool experience. Just here's my daily kind of observation on numbers game guesses as I continue to build my dissertation that is somehow going to prove something about the way the human brain works based on how we remember jersey number trivia. This is going to be – I'm going to, like, win the Nobel Prize for this at some point. Not true, but, you know. If you guess wrong with a number on one player, almost – I think your brain puts a block on that number. For example, Quentin Johnston, he's the first thing he goes, 11, and he was wrong. We were looking for number 1 for Quentin Johnston. But Brandon Ayuk, the next one was 11, and I don't think his brain would have let him get there. I see that happen a ton, where if you say the right number for someone else and it's wrong for the first one you guessed it for, very rarely do people go back to that number, even if it's correct, and maybe they even know it's correct for the next one. I think it's a weird thing our brain does. Human brain. Hard to explain. The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plains. It is. That's my next thing that I'm going to track while we're playing the numbers game. If you get the number wrong with one, does it make it less likely for you to guess it for another player, even when it's right?
We need to get Ben on that. Ben, the stats guy. Maybe he can track, give us some analysis.
I'm just saying. There's things that I notice as I'm sitting here trying to pronounce names correctly, and my mind is sitting there thinking of other theories, which is not what it should be doing. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Maybe that the reason why I can think of all these crazy things that seem insignificant is because so many of the worries in my life are taken off my plate by Manor Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Manor Service Company. I don't have to worry about my plumbing or my electrical or my heating system or cooling system, right? Life of a homeowner. So many of us know it can be a stressful one. But if you know that you have Manor Service Company's number saved in your phone, you're not worried as much, because if something bad happens, if you got a leak, if your electricity's not working, if the heating isn't working, it's cold outside, rather than getting stressed, you just pop out your phone, you type in Manor Service, you give them a call. They come out and fix it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, service all across the Triangle. That's all of Wake County and 50 miles in any direction from Wake County. That you see their trucks out and about. I was just talking to someone the other day. They were driving, I forget where, maybe to a practice or something, and the whole way they were following a Manor Service Company truck. And I went, the moment you recognize that, like, it's in your brain, you're going to see them everywhere. Manor Service Company trucks are all over the place because they truly are out helping people in your community. So if you want to take that responsibility, that stress off of your plate, like I have done with Manor Service Company, here's the phone number, 919-361-0993. Manor Service Company, 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at manorservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. There's only one thing left to do, everybody. Heading into the weekend, we got to send you off the right way, and that's by making some picks. Max will line them up. We'll make our picks coming up next.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
This Christmas, gift deeply. At Bailey's, we know jewelry is more than just something sparkly. Each piece carries meaning, emotion, and love. Discover the largest selection of designer jewelry, diamonds, luxury timepieces, and gifts for everyone special on your list. Give a gift that says everything words cannot. Beautifully wrapped in our iconic Bailey box. Visit Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte, or at baileybox.com, because every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Welcome home. Your home is not just where you live, it's where life happens. At Baker Home Exteriors, we're proud to continue Baker Roofing's century-long legacy of excellence, understanding that your home should be as extraordinary as the life within it. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, or more, we transform houses into the homes you've always dreamed of. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and let's build something beautiful together. That's BakerHomeExteriors.com.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like chicken supremes, Cajun filet biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Like clockwork, when Max produces, we end the show. Last rejoin, Michael McDonald.
Consistency is key.
When you're listening to Michael McDonald, are any other artists sprinkled in? Or are you just like full out? Are you a front to back albums guy?
No, there's no artist where I'm like I can go front to back on an album because nobody's putting out a full album that's all good.
Well, I mean, back in the day, that's
than like
you're not as old a soul as I thought.
No, I'm not.
I still very much enjoy listening to an album front to back because that's how they intended you to hear it.
My brain is too cooked for that. I have to be able to shuffle and skip and
they tell a story through the album. There's a flow to it. Track 1 is not track 9. You know what I mean?
It's different if it's like a rock opera where they like flow into each other, but that I feel like most albums are not like that.
You should try a Michael McDonald, just a full experience.
I mean, I know which albums have the good songs on them. It's just, not every song on those albums is necessarily going to be the best or one that I know I can sing along.
Maybe we'll have you sing one day, but not today because It is time. Actually, before we actually get to making our picks, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everybody, this is of utmost importance. I was told earlier today we are 22 followers away from, I believe, 21,000. Please, we love those milestones. We love getting those few extras. So if you have already subscribed to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan, find a friend who hasn't. And if you haven't subscribed yourself, please go subscribe. We just need, we were, earlier today, it was 22. 22, that's like one elementary school class, right? That's one line at the grocery store on a busy day. Just 22 people.
21 now.
21 people. This is like one of those, again, your age probably remember this, the telethons where we need to raise $1 million for blah. And right now we've only raised $189,000. Thank you very much. Like that's what we need right now. We need 21 subscribers on YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, please, right now. Do not make me wait. Do not make me beg. I will, but do not make me. Go to YouTube. 99.9 The Fan's the name of the channel. Subscribe. If you've already done it, find one friend, one family member who hasn't, and get them to do it so we can get up over that 21,000 plateau and we can start aiming for 22,000. We're goal-oriented around here. It's a Friday. Help us reach our goal.
Got one.
Got
20
one.
More. 20 more.
Got one. We'll try to update you as this goes along. But we also have to make our picks. So, Max, start lining up games and we'll start picking them.
All right, well, we'll start with something that is not a game, but people will have their eyes on this weekend. The Heisman Trophy is being handed out tomorrow night in New York City. The 4 finalists are Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana. Diego Pavia, quarterback from Vanderbilt. Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame. And for some reason, I'm blanking on the last one. I don't have it in front of me. And
Julian Sayin?
Yes, Julian Sayin from Ohio State. I don't know why I was so confident that I knew them, and I did not remember Julian Sayin. Nevertheless, those are the 4 candidates. Fernando Mendoza is considered widely to be the favorite to win the award. Who do you have taking home the Heisman Trophy tomorrow night?
Who would I vote for, or who do I think will?
Who would you vote for, and who do you think will win?
I would vote for Love. I think Mendoza will win. It just goes to the best quarterback on one of the good teams, and Mendoza kind of has that moment right now. The issue I have is, like, if you look at Mendoza's production versus other recent winners of the Heisman Trophy from the quarterback position, he's nowhere close. So if there's like a standard that's been set, he hasn't reached it, and you're just saying, oh, we're just giving it to quarterbacks now. You're just giving it to one of the top 3 teams, have a quarterback that's playing pretty well. There you go. And that just makes the award so much more boring. Love is I actually, the reason why Love is not winning the award, I blame Notre Dame. They just didn't give him the ball enough. There were games where it made no sense that he wasn't getting as many carries as he should. He's a really good running back. He's going to be the top running back drafted, and I think he's one of, if not the best player kind of in the country this year.
All right, we'll go over to the hardwood now. We talked about this game quite a bit today. NC State facing Kansas at the Lenovo Center tomorrow. That is a 5:30 tip. NC State actually a 1.5-point favorite, which surprised quite a few. I was a bit surprised to see that line as well, but hoping for a good game over there at Lenovo tomorrow. NC State taking on the Jayhawks. What's going to happen?
From a gambling perspective, the Wolfpack are 1.5-point favorites. What I will do I always like to be upfront when if I give a pick and I'm putting my own money on it, then I will let you know. If I'm making a pick and I'm not putting my own money on it, I also want to let you know that. So you're not tailing picks that I'm not as confident in. And that way, if I'm wrong and you tailed me, at least I also felt the financial burden. Here's what I'll do for this game with my own money. I'm going to pay attention to where the public money goes. If a lot of public money goes on Kansas, I'm going to bet on NC State. With the simple idea being that the sports books they seem to be inviting money on Kansas with the 1.5-point favorite for NC State. And when they're inviting money in one direction, that means they're pretty confident in the other direction. So I guess I'll pick State, right? If I'm open to betting, I will not bet on Kansas with the way the line is right now. I'd rather abstain from the game than betting on Kansas the way it's going. So yeah, I guess I'll pick State to win by 2.
The line has even gone to 2.5 points in
then
favor
I'll
of
pick
NC
State to win by 3.
In some spots, I'm seeing the FanDuel Sportsbook has NC State listed as a 2.5-point favorite.
Then
tomorrow.
I will pick them to win by 3. I like to be on the same side as the smart people.
I just hope the stripe out works. I hope everyone buys in. It's got some nice red and white in there.
They're trying a lot because they have the stripe out and they have the towels with the lights on it. They've got a lot of things going on. It could be a really cool atmosphere. Everybody could be very confused.
Yes, there's a good chance of that as well. All right, and now let's go over to the other big game of the weekend over on the Gridiron. This is happening in New Orleans. 4:25 start on Sunday, so don't be confused when you turn on your TV at 1 o'clock on Sunday and don't see the Panthers playing. But they are in New Orleans taking on the Saints. The current first place holders in the NFC South, Carolina Panthers.
Sole possession.
Yes, sole possession, and can put themselves within just one win of clinching the division if they are to defeat the Saints. The Panthers are 2.5-point favorites on the road in New Orleans. So, are the Panthers going to pull it out on Sunday in New Orleans?
Here's the I'll give you the angel and devil on my shoulder arguments. The angel is saying they're one of the healthiest teams in the NFL coming out of the bye. They're coming off the best win they've had in years against the Rams. And that was without J.C. Horn and Trevon Merrick, and they're both back now. J.C. Horn completely cleared. I would say the running backs were at times very, very good individually, but had both, like, to me, goodness gracious. Chuba Hubbard was obviously not 100% until he kind of looked that way against the Rams. And Rico Dowdle appears to be slowing down potentially because he was getting a little banged up and overused. So they should be better. Now, the devil on my shoulder is also saying this. They beat the Packers. Everybody started to believe in them. They laid a stinker. They beat the Falcons with 448 passing yards. Everybody started to believe in them. They laid a stinker. The first stinker against the Saints, the next one Monday Night Football against the Niners. They beat the Rams. Now everybody's believing in them again. Do you want to, like, how many times are we going to fall for it? So which one am I going to listen to? The angel or the devil? I'm going to choose the angel. I think they're ready to win, put themselves one game away from the postseason.
I think Dave Canales will call a more aggressive game than he did last time against the Saints because I'm sure he understands the stakes of this as much as anybody.
I hope so. Trust Bryce. Whether you do or not, trust him.
It's a little troubling that their last outright win as a favorite was in September of 2021. I believe they've lost 11 straight outright as favorites, but come on, this is the time. Like, this is when you got to show you've made the leap, and it's time. I think they will get it done. Bryce Young's first ever win after the 1 p.m. window. Let's get it done. Let's see it happen in New Orleans on Sunday. I'd love to see it. We'll go one more here. This one, great local interest, is actually going down in Cary tonight at 8:30. NC State men's soccer in the Final Four of the College Cup. This is at Wake Med Soccer Park, or First Horizon Field, I believe it's called now. They're taking on St. Louis. NC State was seeded in the tournament, had a 15-4-2 record this year. St. Louis went 13-8-2, but has a pretty storied history in terms of soccer. NC State and St. Louis, are they going to book their ticket to the national championship on Monday?
Okay, so I should put my lack of knowledge on Front Street here. Everything I learned about St. Louis as a soccer program was what I just heard from Max. But of course, I'm taking the they're playing like a stone's throw from their campus. NC State and Cary, they're going to smoke St. Louis, probably like 4-1. And the one will be a late trash goal after they're celebrating. And then they'll face Furman or Washington in the championship and win that one 5-0. That's really the only way this goes, right? I know absolutely nothing about college soccer. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, coming to a close here. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Do you have an actual opinion? Do you know who's do you have any idea? 10 seconds or less?
NC State's seeded and St. Louis wasn't, so go Pack.
There you go. Overdrive is coming up next. We're going to talk a little Brandon Bussi and the Canes to start things off. Panthers later on. It's a great weekend of college sports, a great weekend of pro sports. Panthers, Canes, enjoy it. We'll be back on Monday to break it down. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks to Max.
The Adam Gold Show.
I have no idea how the whole thing's going to play out. We've seen goaltenders come in and be good for short stretches.